this one's got a Lancaster on the box.
Stop saying that word because it keeps coming on my algorithms on my YouTube.
Good afternoon and welcome to part 2 of Flory Flesh 2001. You two have moved over. Why is
2001?
2002, 21. Look, we're only on part 2. Usually it's happened Sunday afternoon. I have not got a clue even what I'm doing. I have no idea who I am. Anyway, trust you're all doing very well. If you missed part 1, obviously don't forget it is streaming. You will be able to go and see it and watch it afterwards. That was down below. But here we are for part 2. So if this is your first little rodeo, so to speak, basically the way this works is it's a bit like our normal Saturday shows, or if you've seen the turkey shoots, but obviously it's a little bit more interactive with you guys. And don't panic. What's on the bottom bit?
Don't panic. That's Army, isn't it?
Yes.
Leamington-on-Sea, is it?
Something
Warmington,
like
sorry.
Warmington on sea.
There you go, look, don't panic.
Nobody panic. We're all good. We're all fine.
Got me
Anyway,
tin cup. Right.
very good morning this morning with lots of bits and pieces. I was doing some weathering down here on the Vulcan. The guys are working on some of their bits as well. So this afternoon, Matt's going to be showing you a bit what he's up to, and the other guys will as well. And Nathan, crikey, Nathan, you going to work on that artillery kit?
It's got raised panel lines, so I'm looking at it thinking,
I didn't know he was going to do this, so hold on, I've got to figure out which camera you're on. You are on that one, so yes.
I have got a better option, but what I'm thinking of doing is maybe taking the night fighter bits from this and marrying them up to an ICM kit, because this is just full of raised panel lines.
Nice. You're a
ICM
great
do a
man.
night fighter, don't they?
Huh?
Don't ICM do a night fighter version of that instead of
Possibly.
second?
So I don't know. I'll put it back in the stash and spend the rest of the day procrastinating over what to build.
He could just be staring at it for the next 3 hours, to be honest.
Yeah.
Anyway, point of view, obviously we've got sales, we've got various bits going on in interactive, so if I give you a quick whiz round just as we're getting started here. So obviously this is the format of what we're working at. Hold on, we're on the wrong bit. There we go. So obviously we're on between 2 and 5 up here, and then tonight we're going to be on between 7:30 and 9, so it's quiz night, totally informal. This afternoon around about 4 o'clock we're going to be looking at next year's SIG and group build a lineup. Nathan's done a PDF PowerPoint presentation and we'll be working our way through that one. So obviously for members that's more for you guys, so you can see exactly what you're going to need to be getting for next year, for the usual things for that and the various bits and pieces. And then we're back on with you on Sunday as well, 10 till midday, and then from 2 till 5 right the way through, where we've got Pranjit from Airfix on that one. So lots still to come down in there. Obviously we've got various shows and deals wherever I've done with it going on at the moment. I've managed to move mine. Hold on, just go back to store. So Flory Models store has got up to 28% off all your bits and pieces. You also get a free badge with every order, but obviously we've got a good deal on these special show special, if you like. So only £5 for a pack of sanders. All the other ones are a lot cheaper. The washes are, I don't know, whatever they were, they are, I wrote it down somewhere, 25% off all washes. So instead of them being £6, they're only £4.80. So if you want to grab some of those pigments as well, which are really going out, because literally I've only got a few of those left because they've gone very well this morning, but they're only £25, still 34, so forth and so on. Also PM Models is doing exactly the same deals and discounts as well, so if you want to get it from PM Models as well, they're on sale, same price as what we're doing here, as well as
hold on, we need a reload.
I saw it.
why, what have you done?
No, it's not what we've done. It's what our lovely customers have done.
Oh, I see. That'll be back in stock in the click of a button. Hold on.
It will, yeah.
It will be back in stock because clearly we are okay for those. But yes, so we've got lots of deals coming through there. Also 10% off all kits from the PM store, and we've also got the show specials. So the show specials are just this price. Obviously it's not 10% on top, but you can see we've got some fantastic deals all the way down in there. So if you want to grab yourself a bit of a bargain, you can add some sanders and washes to it, so forth and so on. They're down in there just like that as well. So if you want to save yourself about £600, you could get a 48 scale. Very nice Lancaster, just saying.
Good. Yeah.
Think of all the aftermarket you could get for £600.
To fair, some of the prices in there are really, really good prices if you look around.
Yes. So
Well worth going for.
So anyway, this is all going to be up until either it is sold out or obviously tomorrow night. All right, for that particular one. Also, our friends in Europe, obviously, if you want to order via Serious Hobbies, they're doing 15% off all Flory Models products. Obviously, that's going to run till tomorrow night as well, so you can pop along to their links are down below on all of these as well. And High Altitude Hobbies as well. They're doing a sale at some point, but I don't know if it's live yet or not because it doesn't mention it. So they are down in there right the way on. So you can grab those as well. Links again down below from all the places you can get them if you're in the US. Also, as we said, we'll have a quick look at these now. We are also available for you guys to interact with us with some photos of your great work. So all you got to do is Instagram and just do the old hashtag official Flory Models link and you'll be put into here. So we've got some other good ones down in here. This is a very nice A10, as you can see. Very nice.
Is that the Hobby Boss one?
Look at that. It's got the slime lines to work on it.
Oh, cool.
Oh, good.
So very good. So this is the 48 scale Hobby Boss kit. So yes, very nice indeed. Apparently it's called the Red River Hog. So yes, but it was the demo team colours. Very nice job. Lovely clean build. And I like the way the slime line. I've often thought of those. I've got that tape here. So you charge it up with your torch and then turn out the lights and it works. It works very, very well. So good job on that one. RD Military. That's a very nice one. Next up, we've got here 48 scale F16 Tamiya. So this is Moo Cow, as she's commonly known. I've actually had the privilege of seeing these flying around when I was up there in Alaska a couple of years back. Very nice they are as well. So I think we've only got the one photo of that. We do. So very nice job indeed. So well done to ND21270. Good job. Very nice Spitfire. So we've got a 32nd scale Revell Spitfire. So this is exactly the one I'm working on. I think that's a Mark 9. Yes, it is. So again, beautiful job. Very nice. Just goes to show, you see, you don't have to go totally over the top with the old Tamiya one. You can still just do a beautiful job as done here by ND on that particular one as well. So congratulations to you on your fantastic build. A bike. So we've got Caprex from New Zealand. He has done this one. Doesn't say whose kit it is and all the rest of it. I'm assuming it's Tamiya. The Ducati.
Nice scheme.
It is. It's lovely in the Martini.
It is. It's a nice scheme, that is.
Very, very nice indeed. So as you can see, can't go wrong with a bike. Beautiful. Very,
weird
very...
seeing a Ducati in blue.
Yes, I must admit, I did go with the red as well when I did mine. So yes.
Nice.
So beautiful work on that one. Next up we've got Hurricane. Again, this is the Airfix 48 scale Mark 1. Beautiful work.
Good kit.
Good kit. I like that kit. I really am. I think it's very, very underrated. Everyone automatically wants a Hurricane kit in 48. Well, what's wrong with the Airfix one?
Nothing.
Nothing. I think it's really nice. I've built it. It's a very, very nice kit indeed. So anyway, very, very nice. So good job there. And then last up for the minute, we've got a very nice 32nd FW190. This is the Revel one on a little diorama as well with the crew and that running around it. Here he is. Very, very nice. Nice bikes as well, details.
Nice build that.
And again, I've done that kit. Very nice indeed.
Yeah.
Cool job. So well done guys on that one. Absolutely beautiful work. Remember, as you said before, hold on, we've got two more. Sorry, getting ahead of myself there. Down in here we've got Michael. That's a Bearcat, isn't it? 48 scale Bearcat. Hobby Boss kit. Very nice. Very, very nice. And we've got, this is from Marcus. Oh, this is Marcus Cranfield, one of our members. He's put up as well. For this is a, what is it again?
That's a Beagle, an IL-28.
I knew it. I just couldn't think of it. So there we go. Nice Beagle.
Bobcat kit or whatever you call it.
It's either theirs or the other one, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is that? HBH in resin?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Which one is it, Marcus? Is that the?
I'd say it was the Bobcat one.
I tell you what, it come out now, isn't it?
It has turned out very nice. Yeah, definitely. Very nice indeed. And then Marcus also got one here, which is a, oh my God, it's an Indian one. What's that?
An SU7.
Is it?
Yeah.
Crikey. It's literally like a pipe.
Where's John when you need him? Isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
Is it an SU7 or something else?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm doubting myself. What Was it that trumpet kit? The fish pot thing? Did they have them? That's an SU11, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quick, somebody tell me.
I don't know what that one is, to be honest.
Waiting
I'm
for
not,
the
I'm not very
chapter.
good on
No one
those.
knows.
It's one October anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah, nice one. Nice scheme in the Indian scheme as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Very,
I
very
do
nice
like-
indeed.
It's like blue and... Is it blue and brown or blue and mauve?
Oh, yeah, I don't know quite what. They do them some quite funky colours and with like high-vis markings, don't they?
Yeah.
So very nice again. So anyway, if you want to get your work shown, chuck it up here. Love to see it and things like that. So remember, just do hashtag official Flory models and it'll find its way down in here into the little tag page, just like that. So
Yeah.
good. Trust we're all good. And as for my tail wheel GB model zone, whoever you are, I know because it snapped off. But I did notice it after I put it on. I put the tail wheel on so it's facing down, so we just cut it and then I'll reattach it later on. I think it's in here. Here it is. Look. Because I know what he's on about, because I spotted it afterwards as well. But obviously this does go on and does fit in, but I had it like... See, everyone loves a fucking know-it-all. Right.
Language.
I had it like that when we glued it, you see. But actually, being clever, I've just cut it off, so now it can go round that way. Whoops. And yes, it will go round and it will just go on this way now, which is the sort of correct way of doing it. But yes, did spot it after we did it. That's the trouble when you do stuff live. So, but yes, all good stuff.
These things happen, don't they?
Well, this is it.
Dee.
At least I don't edit them all out like everyone else does, just saying. Anyway.
Yeah.
Very good. So anyway, how is everybody in the chat? Are we all good? All good. Loads of people in the Flory chat as always. Well done. Good
Yeah.
afternoon, everybody. Ben's got trouble with his internet. He's just died as the
I'll tell you
credits
what,
roll.
that neck of the woods, because Nigel's had trouble with his internet.
Yeah, what's going on with the internet at the moment? It's a bit squealy
No one's
today.
going out. Everyone's at home on the internet because no one wants to use petrol.
True.
I bet everybody's staying home watching Netflix instead of going out.
We're back into lockdown, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're in that
Oh, look,
lockdown now.
I was right. Look, the Bobcat kit for the IL-28 and the SU-7 is
There
the
you
old
go.
OEZ kit.
You get the aircraft recognition prize for the day.
Well, obviously, I think I need a medal for that.
You do.
KP have released it, haven't they? With all some goodies with the SU-7. Yeah.
Glow in the Dark wants to become a member of Flory Models, so shall we let him in? It's really simple. If you do want to become a member, shameless plug. I hate doing this. Everyone thinks that, you know, it's not a thing, but I really don't dislike this. You go to subscribe, and obviously, depending where you are in the world, because of the trouble, you know, with Brexit and all the rest of it, really screwed us over. So, but if you look in here, it will tell you how to go about it. If you're a non-UK member, the easiest way to do it is through Patreon, to be honest, and you can do it that way. And then what it is, I send you a link which gives you full access into the forum. If you are either a sort of non-EU member, then you can do it direct. So what happens is you just send me a little thing just saying hello, and then I'll send you all the details and the links and everything and an account into the forum, because obviously pretty much 99% of everything we do here is on the forum, which you click on the forum, obviously you normally can't see it. It's down in here, and that's where all the shows are, all the live stuff and everything else, and all the group builds and everything are all down in here. So you get the free into here, plus the fact it does say here there's lots of other benefits of being a member, which I won't go on about today, but there's lots of other bits and pieces you can read down in there. So yes, lots and lots of stuff. But if you do, it's very straightforward. I just send you a link and then that gets you in, no problem at all.
Can I just read out David's comment?
Yes.
Because it's quite funny. There may be no internet in parts of Northern Ireland, but there is petrol everywhere. Strange times. Just don't panic buy like us stupid people over here, probably.
Yeah.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
But yeah, nice to know where there is petrol.
Yes.
That's all.
Joe ain't got enough fuel to get there to get some to get back.
My wife's going on the hunt this afternoon for me.
This chef.
Okay.
God, have you put her out with enough equipment to survive?
Yeah, if you got a snow shovel, chains, she might need it by the time she gets back after finding it.
Umbrella.
Another quick question has come up, a couple of them down in here, I'm just reading out, is obviously people saying about we only take PayPal. No, we don't. We also take cards as well. So when you get to checkout, I know it's a bit small on your little thumb item here, but underneath where it says log in for PayPal, it also says pay by credit and debit card. So all you do is click that underneath and then it will take you off and you can pay by a credit or debit card if you don't want to use PayPal. It uses PayPal for the processing, but that's just the way we work it. But you don't have to have a PayPal account. So if you do want to buy it, it doesn't matter, pretty much all the sites will have it just underneath. So when you get to checkout, it says down in here, but I know when you go through the motions of it, it says PayPal, but you can pay on card as well. It's just that the logo system they used to use, they changed it. So it doesn't give you that option anymore. But just underneath where it says login, it literally just says pay by credit or debit card. You can do it that way as well.
Right, Rob T. He's looking at 3 kits in our sale: the Meng Magash, the Macarver, and the Mini Art Grant. He's on about the tracks. Could put him off on new armour kits. Just do what me and Andy do and just get some ready made.
Yeah, just get a child to put them together for you in some sweatshop.
Oi, it's not like that at all.
How do you know?
I don't. Look, that one's got them on.
Yes.
Ukraine's finest export.
Yes.
It is at the minute. What they're called Sector 35s, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know if they do actually modern stuff, to be honest. But there is aftermarket options, isn't there? If you really want.
And these are T55 ones I've got from them for it. The Meng and the Macarver are
Don't they have
complicated, but you do have jigs with them to help put them together. Time consuming.
I've just fought with the Grant. Just put some Sherman tracks on it.
Yeah.
The Mini Art Grant ones,
They'll be complicated.
I don't know, I've never even seen them, to know what they're like.
I think they're about 3 or 4 pieces or something. If I remember, you have to put the guide on. You know what I mean? I think they are very. They can be a bit time consuming, but it's part of it.
Yes.
It is part of it. It's not that bad. Sit there, put a podcast on, watch us, watch YouTube, listen to music, and you soon fly through them. I think the thought of doing tracks is actually probably more daunting than actually when you get started. You just do them. I don't know.
I think most of the cases you say that is pretty much right, because I've often said in my videos as well that if you are really phobic against tracks, if you just sort of say do 25 a night.
Yeah.
But actually, the many times I thought I'll just do a handful, and I've ended up doing them all. Because actually it's not so bad. When you get on a roll and you get going, and again, if you've got like a film you've watched a million times, which is normally how I work, if I'm doing jobs like that, I'll put something on that I can just listen to and I don't have to watch. So, you know, and you can just click them together and pin them and glue them and all the rest of it, and you're good to go. It's never as bad as, you know.
No, it's not. I think the one annoying thing with armour kits is, not all of them, but they don't tell you how many track links per side. I've had that before, and I'm like, well, you give us a bit of an idea of how many you should need. Obviously, you can add and take away depending on, you know, how tight you want them or loose or whatever for the sag.
Yeah.
But just a general, right, you need 100 links per side. I think more modern kits are pretty good for it, but yeah, some of the other ones can be a bit
the ones
sparse.
I've been working on recently, I've always said like 72 or 90 or whatever it is. So.
Yeah, you could just go on.
Paul Selwood says Matt, do you think 3D printed tracks will become a good seller, no cleaner required, and good plus points? Problem is we do know of a company that did resin tracks, and they then switched back over to white metal because they're too fragile, weren't they?
I think there are companies who are doing them now. I mean, Ryfield are bringing out printed track stands. Is it a couple? They are. I think people are dabbling in it. Like I say, I don't know how robust they are. That's the problem. Resin can be fragile. So if you're manhandling and putting them together, the chances are you might have some breakages. But I don't know without actually seeing any. You'd have thought if resin tracks would have taken off, there would be, like you say, a lot of companies doing them. And they haven't. They do metal tracks. One for the weight, but one because they're robust, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, like we said, God, what was the company we used to do the racing tracks? I've got some. Can't think
Remember
of
the
it.
ones that were in
remember
the
the
green and
packets
white
green?
boxes.
Yeah, the little green packet. We seen him in Eindhoven, didn't we?
Yes.
Anyway, whoever it is, and they said they switched because of they got the brilliant detail and everything, but they were just so fragile.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. But the only other thing is, obviously, people getting more 3D printers. You'll be just buying a file and print your own, so you can, print as many as you want. But you still have to clean them up, I would have thought, because they're going to have attachment points, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But they're not going to have seam lines where they've been moulded, are they? So
no, they're not. No, there is that plus.
just one little nip and sand.
I'll tell you what I wish. If Bandai did armour, they could do it where they do that thing like with the hands and
Oh, the
things,
hands,
where they're
yeah.
moulded in one and they'd be totally
Yeah.
workable. You just remove from sprue and click them together and they work.
Yeah, we were talking about that, how it's amazing for the way they've done it with an injection molding machine. The Asuka Shermans. I cut the main part. You get the main part of the M50 machine gun, 50 cal machine gun, and then you get the barrel. And I cut the sprue off either end of the machine gun, and I thought, I'm going to have to drill this out for the barrel. So I got my drill out, started drilling into it, and the whole centre core came out.
All right.
But somehow they'd moulded it into the machine gun, but it was loose.
All right.
The attachment point. So rather than drilling it out, you just had to pull it out, and it would have come out and left the hole for the barrel to go in.
Clever.
To this day, I can't figure out how they ever did that.
No.
What's that odd?
The Asuka Shermans
They were well ahead of the time, though, weren't they? Again?
on the machine gun. On the
Yeah,
top.
right, on the Browning.
Yeah,
All right, okay. Because they used to sell them separate,
yeah, they did. Yeah,
didn't they? Interesting. I've got a nose to build a Sherman for some reason. Really have.
You did the Firefly last time, wasn't it?
Well, that's a long time ago, though, isn't it? Oh no, the last Sherman I built was for the South American thing last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You did there's like a Firefly
it's the
version,
Super
isn't it?
Sherman.
Super Sherman, that was it.
No, I fancy going back to probably a proper World War II US Sherman tank.
Right.
Yes. We will see. So I've got that many projects knocking around here. I need to actually finish something before I start anything else. So, yes.
Well, now you've got loads of room. You can put your shed back together and you're good to go again.
Yeah, well, that's it, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah.
So, cool. Right, I'm going to do a little bit more on this little guy. Do you want to do your little bit now, Matt, or do you want to...
No, because I'm not up. I've got to move cams and everything in a minute. So,
Right,
if them lot are doing stuff, they can put their overheads on instead of them watching, like,
yeah.
people's
yeah.
heads.
I'm cleaning my airbrush. So
Well, put your overhead on so you can do a demo of cleaning.
Yeah, you can do a demo of cleaning your airbrush.
Uh-oh.
seriously,
Do it. Do what, Kev? What am I supposed to do? A Sherman? Is that what you mean? I've
Yeah.
actually got a Dragon Sherman I fancy doing. Funnily enough. The 105mm howitzer thing. Might do that. It's either that or a Meng one. The new Meng Sherman. So, we will see. They are, Ben, is Sector 35, the tracks are. They're not cheap, but my God, they save a lot of time. They come like this in a little bag. There you go, don't they, Andy?
Yeah.
There's my Panzer 1 tracks. So you get spares, because they just come in a length, and then you either remove or add what you need. Pretty much they like for all tracks, but already built for you.
they're T55 tracks.
Yeah. There you
That's
go.
how they came like that. Ready built.
It's proper cheating, but hey,
Yeah, whatever works.
who cares? Here you go, Ben. For anybody else, there you go. They're my Panzer 1 tracks. It's hard to see, but they do come already
Pre-done.
pre-built, and trust me, they are fiddly to try and do it on your own without bending them out of shape. So I've got some spare tracks for a Panzer 1 here I can use as well, which is nice.
Nice.
which is nice. Because there's that new Tacken Panzer one out, isn't there?
Yes.
Yep. Worth having a look at, I think. Yeah, just go on eBay and the company, funnily enough, is called PM Models.
Yeah.
Where you get them from in the Ukraine?
Our sister company.
No, we own them now. They've nicked our name, we own them.
Yes.
I bet watch it. I bet we'll get a lawsuit come through in a minute.
Yeah, at least we could say, well, look, we were promoting you.
Yeah, we've promoted, we've supported your company by buying from you.
Yes. And we gave you free advertising, and this is how you treat us.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Monogram all over again.
Yeah. Like Tony put the Ryfield Charlie 2, 3 parts per track, 95 track links, took 3 days.
Oof, hell,
Well,
I'd
haven't you got better do it time?
rather be rescribing a Dornier 17. Hang on a minute.
Are you actually,
217.
are you actually going to rescribe it?
It's not that bad. It's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 8 panel lines that go around the fuselage. So
Yeah.
they're the Yorkwood ones.
Yeah,
The wings are flat. That's going to be dead easy.
yeah.
To be honest, I'm just following the raised panel lines on the kit, or using Scotch Magic, which is like it's like sellotape, but a bit thicker.
Yeah, I know what you
And
mean.
it's a lot cheaper than using Dino.
I've got to say, I've got a bit of a soft spot for the old Italeri.
Hey, look at
Stuff.
just straight out off the sprue, no tidy up, no faffing, no sanding, and it's a click fit virtually.
That's what really frustrates me about the old thing with Italeri, because they used to be really good and they've just never
Yeah.
progressed.
I mean,
If that makes sense. Obviously they have, but not, you know.
Astigari, the plastic's really hard,
Yeah,
and it's really pingy plastic, and I'm just ashamed it's got raised panel lines because there is like there's a bit of sanding to do here, so I'm not going to put every panel line in. I'll just do enough to give it a nod
you're going to wing it, aren't you?
a little bit.
You're going to rivet it.
So, I mean, this thing, camo wise, I've either got black,
Yeah.
or I've got a. Oh, God knows what colour these are. Got a sort of grey one.
I tell you what, I do like that funny looking top right one. Yeah, that one. I do like that. That's quite a different scheme. As
Yeah.
the decals.
I don't know where they are.
Oh,
So
okay.
it might be
That
like-
could be a problem.
I might be going off on a little hunt through my decal stash. I mean, it's standard. It's not much. It's just a few crosses and a few letters. So none of them seem. There's one. This one's got a squadron badge on it, but I might have the decals. Like I might not. I don't know. But the problem is with the black plastic is I can't see where I've gone. Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah, it's not helping the colour of that styrene, is it?
No. Quite tricky to work in that.
Tom Hardy's just seen the price is set to 35 tracks. I told you they were dirt cheap,
Well, you have got to pay for that poor child to put them together.
you know. They do have a new Mark II Crusade coming out with the models. And a 135th Lancaster.
Hmm.
I think I ended up basically swapping that with a Wing Nut Wings kit for it, for a set.
Now that's one part of the deal. Not full part. Sod. You wait till I've built my next tank that needs tracks.
Just to add a bit of this on. I think that's
So what's everybody building then on chat? and see where we're at with people's builds. I have literally done nothing for a week. No, I've done a bit of painting on my figure for filming, and that is it.
Well, I've done something deckling.
I literally went in the shed last night to clear some more stuff out to discover that I can probably move back in for a bit. So that's a bit annoying.
Yeah, just cleared it all and then finds out actually might be staying a bit longer.
Yeah, we are staying a bit longer, yeah. Oh, a Jeep. Oh, God. Everybody's still on their Comrade Buller builds by the looks of this.
Oh.
Nope, slip.
Oh, that's going quick.
Yes, this year's starting to fly by now, so everyone needs to get on with their builds.
We do.
Don't forget, 4 o'clock we'll be announcing next year's. So just before you finish doing these.
Yeah. The shop's reloaded.
Yeah, that's it.
Isn't it, Andy?
It is.
There you go. Those the best 70-second kits are pretty good, aren't they, Russell? No, Nathan's a bit of a fan, aren't you?
I liked it. I enjoyed building it. You just need to de-snap it. Just sort of adjust the parts so they're not snapping together, glue them together, and it's
Yeah.
you get a lot easier to build then. You can see why they're doing it though, because it's obviously like they're thinking about the young uns, aren't they?
Yeah.
Got to get them into it, haven't we, somehow?
There's nothing wrong with it. You just might need to just take off some of the attachment points and then approach it like a short run kit with no locating pins. The fit of the parts is excellent once you do that. So I don't like the idea of forcing parts together. So,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Tell you what, we're going to have a masterclass subscribing that we can't see because of the styrofoam it's doing it on.
I can't see either. I did. I feel.
Can you get a coat of white or something so we can see what you're doing?
Got some primer on it.
Andy's lost.
I was trying to figure out how to put these shells together.
Put your overhead on so we can see.
Hold on, which one are we all on? We've all moved.
I don't know, I'm not on any yet. I'm going to
Hold on,
spin
we'll
the...
look at Nathan for a sec,
Yeah, stick Nathan on.
because he's the only one who knows what he's doing.
Spraying it's not a bad shout. I'm just going to throw some paint on it. Paint on so I can see what I'm doing.
Ah, look, we can watch Andy.
Right, hold on.
Sorry, it was bad timing, wasn't it?
Hold on.
Basically, I've got these are the shells that go inside the turret. And I've got all these and all these and all these and all these.
Just paint them on the sprue and then touch them up.
I'm not sure whether or not to
Can't do that, you get hate mail.
and then stick them together and then paint them. Well, I don't think if I stick them together, I don't think I'm going to be able to paint them properly. I think you're right. I think painting on the sprue is going to be the.
Can't paint on the sprue.
You can paint on the sprue.
Can't.
You can, and it's going to be happening in front of your very eyes in a minute.
People get really upset. Get hate mail, death threats.
Anyway, don't panic.
I think you're right because trying to paint them when they're together, doing it, aren't they?
Yep.
Shoot, because they've got like bits that hold them together, which are one colour, and obviously the shells are another colour, and the tops are a different colour. Yeah.
So just a sneaky announcement for 4 o'clock. One of the group builds is £700 or more kit builds only.
You know, the high roller sig.
Yeah, the high roller sig. I've got
Neil's
one,
got one up. I am the considerably richer than you build group build.
Tell you what, I'm glad you had Andy on full screen because I've just shaken my bottle of primer without the lid being on properly.
Well,
Well,
dismiss
well,
this. Where is he?
Well, there's bloody.
Oh, look, we've missed it.
I've seen it.
Just baby wipes. Do you know what? The future. Just do
I
everything.
thought that was a quick way of putting paint on you. Just chuck it all over it. Dip it.
Pour it all over it.
Yeah, just pour it over it. Lay dry.
This is getting covered in all sorts of crap here.
Oh, look. Messy pup.
You know what's worrying about baby wipes is you put them on your little baby's delicates and they're brilliant for getting paint off.
Back in a few minutes.
I wonder what they're made of.
McDonald's has gone through.
Yeah, Christ, I'll do your microphone. You'll be there.
Somebody muted, quick.
They sound like a flock of seagulls in a minute.
Somebody was just asking then, I've just lost it. Where was it? Somebody was asking about P51 somewhere. I can't remember what it was now. What is the best bare metal silver to use for the P51 Mustang by Tammy in 32nd? Again, this is one of those ones where, don't forget, the Mustang isn't metal finish everywhere. It was puttied and painted silver, so like the wings and that. And to be honest with you, one of the best guides for it is Edard did in their ones, like Tales with Iwo Jima and stuff like that. They've got, and it shows where it is silver and where it is metal. So that's quite a good call out for them on that one. But personally, I think for silvers, in that scale especially, Tamiya LP11, was it?
LP11.
LP11 is a beautiful, because I've used it on loads of stuff.
Not SMS 201.
Who?
The metallizer paints.
Oh no, I must admit, yeah, that's very close to it. But the LP11, I think, it seems to give a real nice sort of. It looks like it's linen dope type colour, so it works great for sort of, you know, what you would think is metal, but actually is painted metal, if that makes sense. But yeah, probably the SMS ones as well, because they've got a very, very small pigment count, so it's a nice sparkle. It's not like using Tamiya X11, which it looks like bran flakes painted silver, you know, because it's got a very heavy fleck into it. And as for the metal side of it, to be honest with you, I love using extreme metals. I just find them the easiest one to use. So I've used them on pretty much all of those. So they're dark aluminium is my way of going. And then obviously they do titanium shades and all the rest of it for different shades of metal colour as well. So that's my favourite way of doing it. To be honest, I am going to be doing the Revell 32nd Mustang in a couple of weeks, so you can see it on that one as well. But if not, you can go back and have a look at the B17, because that's huge. And I did it all in metals on that one, and that came out really, really nicely as well.
Yeah.
So, yes. Need lots of oil streaks on the Vulcan, it's too clean. Yes, well, I'm not doing it totally over the top, but that's why I'm doing a bit of weathering this weekend with it and all the rest of it, just to weather it in a bit. The sanders, etc. are reduced this weekend. They are indeed. You guys will be at Telford with the usual selection of sanders for sale? No, we're not. That's why we're doing this, to be honest. This is our version of Telford weekend, but we do more modelling and less chatting and standing around. We're not at Telford. We're not doing any shows this year, so it's not for us. So on that, remind me to tell you about something about that, Matt, after the show. I forgot to tell you something. I should have told you a few days ago, but I will tell you after the show.
Okay.
Just remind me or I'll forget again.
To be honest, mate, on 5 o'clock I'll forget. So.
Yeah, that's it.
Nathan, remember for
any chance PM will start stocking MRP paints? No.
No.
Next question. We've got literally too many paint ranges coming out of our ears now. They had their chance. They didn't want to know. Anyway.
Yeah.
HM Hobbies in the UK. Merrick.
Put it this way. If they did want us to stock it, they'd have to do a lot of grovelling.
Yes. I would want them on bended knees.
Well, I don't, thanks, but you can. Whatever you punch about.
But no, you can see Merrick and his lovely partner at HM Hobbies in the UK. They stock all the MRP range.
Yeah, they do. Just answer, Stuart. Hold on, just answer. Will PM be able to get? Yes, we will, Stuart, on our chat. Yes, we will. They are pre-ordered.
What's that?
He wants Dragon Tiger kits because they're re-releasing and they are really good. So yeah, we will get yes. Yup. The thing is, Paul, we sell the Aptilum, so why would we want to sell the ammo oil brushes as well? I think you've got better value for money with the 502s, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
You just do it yourself, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. I
I
must
know they're
admit.
convenient, but yeah.
Oh yeah, the guys are talking about what they're building. So we've got a 32nd Harrier, we've got ICM MiG-35, we've got a Lancaster, 48 scale. We've got a 1/16 scale Panther on the go at the moment. Nice. Lots of stuff. 48 scale Chipmunks, you name it. Oh, it's all just jumped, sorry.
Russell, that's the Ryefield one with the stowage bins. I don't know. I think actually the Dragon one might be as well, because it's an early one, isn't it? The Leningrad Tiger one with the bins on the side, as they call it. I think. I think that is back out as well. But yeah, but Ryefield have brought theirs. Yoff. Oh, look, another one. Tom wants some. How many do you want, Tom?
Happy days. Might be able to see what I'm doing now.
Is he back? Does it feel better, Andy? You a bit lighter? He said distress signal for loo roll.
Sure. Give the man some privacy.
There
You look bad.
Phil sounding like who? It keep jumping. Something from Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
Is my
apparently,
West Country accent coming out again, innit?
Yeah. You sound like a yokel.
Am I turning into a yokel? Which is, we've had this discussion before. It's really funny because then I'm not from anywhere around here, weirdly. It's just you pick up the lingo when you've been here a while.
God, that's dangerous given where I work, isn't it?
Yeah, I would leave. Mind you, I'm not being funny. Isla's sounding quite local.
She is, isn't she? Scouser, that one. Yeah, she does sound a bit scouse, does my little one.
I had that conversation with Leslie the other day, actually, because I've been up here now 10 years plus, and to me, I still sound like I'm from Nottingham, but it's good. Oh, you have got some mannerisms that's coming and some sayings and that. I was like, oh, okay.
So my other half being Cornish, that's when you know it. Because she's proper Cornish all the way through. She's basically blue and white stripes. And yeah, some of the stuff she comes out with, I find myself answering like she says, like, "You all right?" I go, "Yeah, you." So yeah, you have to be careful.
Right, Nigel's put a good question up.
Yeah.
What's the best scribing tool for panel lines at the moment? He's using the bare metal foil scriber. What you need to do is get on to our friends at UMM.
Yes.
Get their scribers. I haven't got mine here. They're packed away now.
I've got all mine here. Just
It's back, look.
Ah.
Put your overhead on. Show them. There you go. Those.
that one.
That's the one.
Go and see John at UMM. Oh God, I'll get it to catching the light. There we go. UMM.USA. See John. He does a range of them, and he's got the other two there as well. I've got them somewhere, but clearly I can't find them. Oh, hold on. I can actually. Hold on. I'm quite good. So this is the number 3, which is my favourite because it's the long-handled one. Then we've got the number 2, which is the shorter one. It's a bit more chiselled. And you've got the more traditional sort of hooked one of number 1. So you've got number 1, number 2, and number 3. But they are my favourite ones out of them all. I like the long handled one, to be honest, because this one is, I don't know, I seem to have more control over it. You can push and pull, and you've got a blade on there for going around corners. So you can actually, I use this one as a push one as well for scribing, and works really, really well.
Yeah.
It's an ingenious naming system, isn't it?
What, 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without the thought of that.
Can I just say as well, though, what Nathan's got there with his razor saw, if you get the fine blades, they're also very good for scribing over fuselage tops. I wouldn't say obviously scribing, but you can scribe with them. You just can't get into corners, can you? That's the problem. Where the UMM ones can get in any corner.
Is that an original Olaf one?
Yeah, this is one I've had forever. Now this is okay, but if you're scribing 72 stuff, sometimes the scribe is bigger than the model.
I find it cuts
Yeah.
very deeply because I've got the Tamiya
It does.
version.
Yeah.
But I usually use this to finish off. But we've all got a scribing tool in our
Well, I've got
there.
more.
Got an old airbrush needle.
That's the
Oh, yeah.
newest Tamiya one.
I've got
Yeah.
the old one. Hold on, I'll dig out. We'll go
Which is
through
the
a history of old Tamiya ones. I've got that
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah, well, I've got a Scriber 2. Is that a Scriber 1 then?
I don't know which one's which, to
It
be
must
honest.
be. It must be because mine says Scriber 2 on it.
Yeah, you can see mine, isn't it?
Yeah. The one where nobody knew got spare blades in the handle.
Yeah, that's the one. I never knew it. I owned this for about 15 years before I knew it had spare blades in it.
I had no idea.
Because this
Yeah.
one has it inside as well. So when you take off the... I don't know if there's one in here because I might have had it out. But it used to be. No, look, still got them inside as well.
Yeah, this one is ancient, this scriber. It's all
They're all based off the one that Nathan's got, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh dear. Poor old Jason's just knocked a whole bottle of Tamiya extra thin on into his lap.
Ooh, you're gonna get high.
Yeah, it's going to get nice and smelly. Don't smoke.
Maybe I haven't got nylon trousers on.
You know what? To be honest, still just put up. You know, as a cheaper option, the Trumpy Scriber's all right.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's
Yeah,
got a really
that's-
thin
yeah.
blade.
Yeah, it's got a very, very fine blade. It's quite nice.
Very, very, very fine blade.
I mean, the thing with scribing is you're going to make the odd slip. So, you know,
I hate scribing.
Live with it.
I'm not a fan of it myself, to be honest. But I think this one, the airbrush needle, is pretty handy. Especially if you've bent it at the end. If you've got a bent tip, it just really cuts nicely.
You know something? Just a tip. Quick life hack. You know old airbrush needles?
Yeah.
Like you've just said, he's got one for scribing. I've got one for applying super glue with a bent end. I've also got one, you know, for Leo and sort of drop a bottle acrylic paints tend to weld themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For poking that, to clearing the holes. So I use it for that. I think like an old airbrush needle is a really useful tool. They'll never chuck them, save them because they
Yeah.
do. But I use mine for super glue. I've kind of bent the end. You can't see. Hold on, I'll stop you. Which camera? Which mouse am I on? Well, people use wire and all sorts, don't they? So yeah, I just use it. You know, just bend the end of an old needle and just use it super glue. So,
Sorry. And he's mixing his paint.
Is it a bit noise?
you got any other ideas you can use for old needles?
Super glue applicator.
That's what I've just said. That's what I
Oh,
use mine
right,
for.
Acupuncture.
yeah.
Very sharp aerials.
You see, to me, scribing is far worse than building tank tracks
Yeah.
by a long way.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'd rather do seam lines. In fact, for me, I would rather mask a canopy freehand without a set than have to rescribe something. I hate it. I absolutely detest scribing.
They're just obviously know this panel line here, but I think it's just a thing where lots of light passes, and if you make a mistake, there's always sprue go.
There is that, yeah. There's ways out of it. It's just a pain in the backside, isn't it?
Yes.
And I've made an absolute dog's dinner of that one there, but it's under the wing. I think I might go away with it. But I just, with this raised panel line kit, I can just rest the needle next to the panel line and just drag it. Faintly mark it in. So I've got like a very, very faint panel line. And then finish off. I always do one last pass with this alpha thing. I think it gives you, just tidies it all up. But don't be afraid of rescribing, because you can always sprue go it, sand it, redo it if you're in a rush. super glue and baking powder. But then the problem with that is that's harder than the plastic surrounding it. Now what I'm using, instead of using these dino tapes, which I find like really expensive, they are the best panel line scribe guides. Scotch Magic tape is it's really thick sellotape. It's just, you can hear it, it's like quite rigid. So this Scotch Magic is a load cheaper than that, and it's just about thick enough to be a scribe guide. And you can also use it to seal boxes.
Well, in that that's the tape you can take back off, isn't it?
I don't know. I mean, it's just
That's what it was for. It's and you can put it down and then take it off again.
Anyone that's in America should be able to get it because it says here made in the USA.
Yes.
So it should be available to viewers everywhere. But this stuff is brilliant. It's just, you can hear it. It's quite thick sellotape basically. And you can obviously, because you can cut thin strips, and if you cut a thin strip, you can then do curves. Trying to remember which panel lines I've done and not done now. I mean, the other school of thought is you take the raised panel lines off. But I'm using them as a guide, to be honest, and then I'll sand them all off afterwards.
Just answered whoever question that was. X28 for stubborn decals, isn't it?
Yeah. Make sure it's X28.
Yeah.
To answer the other question from Andrew, he's saying he's loving the weekend and following on with the builds and that, and he was saying about just wanted to know if it's safe to use Mr. Hobby's self-leveling thinner with Hataka lacquer paints. Yes, definitely, because to be honest, that's what we all use.
I use it all the time.
Yeah, I do as well.
I've got Hataka thinners, but I'm using that stuff.
Yeah.
For everything. Tamiya, Hataka, the lot. Even I use the rapid thinner in enamel paints as well. The only thing they don't go in is like pure acrylics, isn't it?
Yeah.
It goes a bit gloopy. Good shout on spraying this aircraft before I start scribing.
It does make it a bit easier to see.
So I thought it might be a little bit easier, to see what you're doing.
It's literally scribing by feel.
What's that odd noise?
Is that Andy on the toilet again?
It's Phil.
Sorry, is that me squeaking? It's because
Yeah.
I'm using my finger for me weathering. I'm blending with. Oh, you guys can't see this. Sorry, hold on. Let me move it up a bit. Well, I'll reword that. I'm using my finger.
Don't say that.
One of the things I love about oils as well, it's a bit like the wash. It's very tactile, so you can actually get your finger into there and use your finger for blending. You can buy expensive tools to do this, but I tend to just prefer using my finger.
Right, which of the buffable Mr. Colours?
That's 211 to 218 or something, or 290.
Dark iron, you want 214.
Dark iron, right?
Dark iron 214 is like the ultimate.
Iron and dark iron, yeah. Who wants to know that?
Is there anything on it to say it's buffable? There isn't, is there?
No, those ones, it's called Mr. Buffer, isn't it? On it. It says Mr. Metal Colour, and if you read Japanese, I think it says buffable on it. But they are different to the other ones. They look different.
Oh, must have got thinners
They're
on
the
that.
best things ever for doing engines, I think.
Excuse my dog barking. Taking umbrage to somebody outside.
Oh, hear him.
Yeah, but she can. She's barking. I can hear her. She's literally only in the next room. I've got the door open, but she's doing that under the breath of like woofing. But you know full well it's going to turn into something a lot louder in a minute if they come this way.
Uh,
The only trouble is when you do like half a wing to show, then you do the other half of wing. The chances of them looking the same.
No.
Mark's in the cab of his lorry, very wet.
Oh, bless. There he is. It's horrendous here.
Not stuck on the M25, are you? Behind somebody who's glued himself to the road again.
Shouldn't laugh, but they do make me laugh. These protesters, as an ex-driver as well, how they've not died is beyond me.
One of them's going to get squashed at some point,
Oh,
aren't they?
amazing. The other day they showed them, they jumped out of the traffic lights in front of a lorry and sat in front of it. And I'm thinking, if he doesn't properly look in front of him, he wouldn't see him.
Nope.
Because he's completely in the blind spot in front. You know, if the lorry's got a mirror out the front, then fair enough to look down. But if he didn't, he could just pull off from the lights and flatten them and he wouldn't know till it's too late. It's like these people have got no idea.
Yeah, but again, then that's ruined somebody's life.
Oh yeah, ruin the driver's life. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like them, you know, who jump in front of trains or off bridges into things, and you know, obviously there's a reason they do it, but the poor bugger who hits them.
Yeah.
It's gonna have
You know what I
proper.
mean?
It's inevitable, isn't it? People are going to get squashed.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time, I think.
Yeah, anyway.
And this is all because they want us to insulate our houses. Mine's fully insulated. I've got like insulation in my loft. I think the message is getting lost in the protest, isn't it?
we can't read Tom's out, but please read his comment on our chat because that's fun.
That's one for after 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Very neat.
What paints are you using? Are they the new Gen 3 AK ones? To be honest, I think they're Panzer Racers. I don't know. I've had them in me. These are Panzer Racers colours actually. There's a selection of them that I've just pulled off my little rack behind me that I was painting my figure in. I was doing my dude's bread bag. They like it, well, all different colours, but like a canvasy colour. So that's what I was using this sort of little selection for, and his gas canister holder thing. So, go. The next part of him should be up next week, shouldn't it, Andy?
Has he got it?
Yeah, hopefully Tuesday. So I'll do
Pardon?
some spraying. Hopefully it should be up Tuesday.
Yeah, the next part will be up for this dude on Tuesday, and I'm nearly done, thank God.
Hey, I noticed you missed the hopefully bit out.
I'll just show them this on full screen a minute so they get an idea what we're up to. There we go. So we're going through and blending and just getting your finger in there. And again, if you get these little stubborn areas like here, if you use a brush that had thinners on it, it'll rehydrate it. So it takes a little bit of rubbing, then all of a sudden it'll let go. So if you find somewhere it's a little bit, you know, it's not coming off very well, then you'll find like there you go, it comes off. So that's the thing about oils. It's finding, to be honest, one of the hardest points is finding the bit where it's got enough grip that it stays, because obviously it's too wet, it just drags out and it streaks. So like when we were doing here, half the point of using my finger to get into rub this around a bit was so I wasn't digging into the panel lines, because obviously as soon as you put a brush in, it'll hook it out of it and it'll still be wet in the panel line probably, but you can then just come along, and again you can just use bits of paper or a cotton bud and things like that and just, you know, lightly rub over. And again, it's all to do with this thing we were talking about a lot over the last couple of weeks on the site of texture. And again, you catch it in the light, hopefully it'll catch it differently. If I zoom in a sec.
Can I just say, us Brits must be the best at doing innuendo.
It's
just us, isn't it? It's just us all over.
Yeah.
not our missus.
As I say, this is a little lighter weathering on that side and this side, but hopefully you can see the lightness. But you catch it in the light there. You can see that texture of what we're trying to get. I think it plays ball on the camera lights. There we go. So it's still shiny, and it'll be just depending how you literally catch it. And then it goes through just like that. It just breaks it up, gives it a little bit of grime, a little bit of difference right the way through. But again, you can use cotton buds if you don't want to get your finger in it. And you know,
Get your finger in it.
I think we need that on the mug. Sticky when wet.
Hey, Using your fingers is far more efficient
Yes, absolutely.
than a cotton bud.
Yeah. Take forever with a cotton bud.
It's like a carry-on film, this.
It is, isn't it? That's why the carry-on films are so popular around the world.
Oh dear.
Titty ye not.
Yeah.
Oh, matron.
Hey, you'd never get away with that now with this day and age, would you?
No.
Everybody,
Probably not.
everybody would be offended.
I don't have to listen to this filth. I can go home and get it. Ooh. Suit you, sailor. Here he is.
Who?
You. We're on you.
I'm not sure about this blue pullover at all.
That's what I'm saying. Suit you, sailor. Ahoy! That's what he's saying.
Oh yeah.
That's a proper pose of
It
it.
is a proper pose, isn't it? He looks like he's straight out of a next catalogue.
Hey, he is a dragon figure, you know. He'd just be thankfully pointing.
Well, yeah, normally.
I might have to do it next to him, so it is like the catalogue pose brothers. The pointy one and the hand on the hips one.
Yeah.
With his nice knitwear.
It's the 1943 knitwear collection.
Yeah, this is the 1940 with his nice slacks. Yeah, I'm not sure about this blue. I might change the colour of his pullover a bit.
How did they lose the war with such dashing jumpers? I don't.
Exactly.
Well, the uniform was quite dashing, wasn't it?
It was.
They did have the better uniforms. If they'd spent more money on perhaps, like, I don't know, tanks and planes, they might, instead of uniforms.
Hugo Boss.
There you go.
That's who designed him, innit?
Yeah,
It was, yeah.
yeah.
Don't mention that on their website these days, do they?
Yeah, they gloss over that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. It does look like a golfing outfit. That's a good idea.
Yeah, you
Russell.
could give him a golf club.
That's why I could think of. He needs a golfing jumper on. Let's see if there's any 135th golf clubs to go with it.
Maybe you could scratch build one out of a airbrush
Bit
needle.
Might get Andy to design and 3D print them.
Yeah, golf set.
Mini Art will release one if you wait long enough.
Yeah,
That's it. They'll be listening to this.
that's it. Mini art be, that's it. They'll be on this now. Quick, get developing.
Do you know what? I'm surprised they've missed that trick. Can't stop coughing. I've had a blooming heavy cold all week. It's proper doing me head in.
Well, you've got the non-COVID cold, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
It's alright, everyone. He has been tested. He did come
I
out.
have had a test.
Negative.
And it's not COVID. It's just a cold, and it's been proper.
I've had it as well. It feels rough as toast, but COVID tests come negative. Yeah, it's going around everywhere at the moment.
It's not nice, so don't catch it.
No.
Stay indoors.
Stay indoors, everyone. Stay safe.
Stay indoors and buy model kits.
Yes.
Oh god. Yeah. I thought they were a thing of the past as well, a cold. But no.
It's proper doing the rounds. Everyone at work's got it at the moment, so it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Rife.
It's a nasty one though, because it starts on your chest and you get a cough, which think I've got COVID.
Perhaps this is like this new version of COVID, COVID 2.
It's one of them. I just had a tickly cough, but I didn't feel ill.
Yeah.
That's why I did the test, because it was just coughing. And then obviously the cold came out at the weekend, so not great, but there you go. Hey ho. Not to worry.
Nice.
So yeah, apologise if I do cough.
Alright.
This is I'm finding this very relaxing.
What, scribing?
Scribing, yeah. And once you accept that you're going to make a slip and you're going to have to fix it, you just move on, get to the next panel line, keep going. For years, I just couldn't do it. It's one of those. It's like couldn't scribe for toffee. It's like
Again, excuse me, I think it gave the right tools for the job as well, innit?
is this Scotch tape, and then I can use any of these scribers. I think what's helping is the guide tape.
Yeah.
And just that mantra of put in like 15 passes rather than 3 heavy ones. Just build the panel line up slowly.
I'm going to clean my brush out of my iron brew in a minute, and I get the wrong cut.
I've put it in my tea a few times when I've been doing things like that.
It's all right.
Easily done, isn't it?
Right, I'm now having to re-weather the other wing to make it look the same as the other wing. The other one's a bit clean.
Maybe it's the prevailing wind at the station meant one side's weathered more
This
than the
is
other.
true. They've only cleaned one wing, clearly. It's alright, I'll get my finger in the other one, it'll be fine. How's Andy doing? Andy, where are you? Come here, Andy. There he is. Oh, he's spraying. Why can't we see the spray? Have you not got the camera in the booth?
No, we hadn't switched it. Because it got his extractor on.
No, that's it. And he's yeah, good point. His silent compressor's too noisy.
That's why I mixed it.
It goes with the silent extractor.
Can you hear the compressor, extractor?
Not really. It's not too bad.
Oh yeah.
No,
You can hear it, but it's not like intrusive.
it's not as loud as your compressor.
Put
Yes, I
booth
do.
cam on. Put booth cam on.
Yeah, have we not got booth cam working today?
It's not connected. No. I can tell it's not connected because the USB lead stops it.
Oh, don't start pulling it apart. It will go Pete Tong again.
I don't know how, but it's that should be connected to the computer, I think.
Alright, it's fine.
That's about right. Yeah. James says rewind the top of the pops when none of the guitars were actually plugged in.
Yeah.
Aid it is a paperclip. So I drill a hole in the leg, foot, and then just use a bit of paperclip or a bit of wire, a bit of thin wire, and then just super glue it to the wooden block.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing very complicated at all. There you go. I don't know if you'll see that, but there's a wooden block there with a piece of wire sticking out of it. Hold on, let's get back on cam. There you go. And you just attach it. Say with a bit of super glue, and then when you're done, because super glue can, brittle in it, you just ping it back off. Just nice and tactile to hold and paint, so you can spin it round and do what you need to do.
Do we sell 4x4?
2x4.
Bit of 2x2.
2x2 is it? I don't know.
We could do we emboss a name onto it and we'll charge it 20 quid.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I've got an actual nice piece of hardwood that I like.
Oh. Because he nicked it from the banister. Somebody's spindle's missing.
Yeah, do you know what? It probably is something like that. Look, nice bit of that's really nice piece of wood.
Is he cold or dead? Because he's looking a bit pale on this camera.
Do you know what? It's got loads of colour on it. It's just how the lighting is.
It's like Wolverine.
I'll tell you what, it looks like that film I've been watching. That's the one in Vegas with the zombies.
Yeah.
Oh, that film's brilliant.
Do you know what? That's really washed it out because there's a ton of colour in him. Because I've actually added more. Do you know when I was painting this dude's face?
Yeah.
Because even on him, he looks like Day of the Dead.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I think
not.
it's just the cameras. Yeah.
Just the camera's not doing out for him at all. God, that looks awful on cam. It looks better on the proper cam. But I added, because I did think he looks a bit lifeless, shall we say. Even more so on that camera. But I added a bit of colour. I found my new sort of blood flow colour, shall we say, for figures.
Yeah.
Which is magenta. Really thin down magenta. Looks really good if you put it in the right places.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my go-to now at the minute. Excuse me. Niggly cough. Yeah. Right, I'm going to switch to the other cam.
You are?
And turn the finger, switch it on. And I'll show you what I was going to do. Just switch it on. Might get some better light this side.
I was going to say, proper camera, you should be alright with that one.
You what, sorry?
Well, with your proper camera, it should
Yeah.
be, it won't, should be better
Yeah,
with
well,
your colours.
Well, I can zoom in, can't I? So,
Yeah.
is it on? Hey, look. Ah.
Right, hold on, stick you on.
Let me just stick that. Right, you can see that, can't you?
Yeah, do you want to zoom in a bit?
Yeah, I'm not in that chair yet. I'm still in my other chair. I'm just going to move over.
Oh, right.
Just give me a minute while I move everything around.
Quick question whilst you do that. David says, question please, can you tell me if Plus Model are good quality kits? Maybe you can tell me about the fit and detail quality.
Cross model, aren't
Yeah.
they like resin, aren't they?
Do you know what? I'm trying to think. I can't think of who Plus Model are.
I'm sure they're the resin people, 100%.
Oh, right. Anybody else know? Nathan? Danny?
I've never had any experience with them, I don't
No.
think.
To be honest, David, you caught me there. I don't know them.
Yeah, they're all resin, military. They'll do aircraft as well.
They did the 172nd Buccaneer in.
There is
All right.
engine cowlings. Yeah, mainly accessories and do like engines and wheels and propellers. I'll do a 10-second Firebee.
All right.
A what?
70-second scale Firebee.
Else one of them?
Matt.
I'm a loss as well.
Lost one. That's amazing.
Firebee's the drone thing that comes with that.
Yeah. That
I see,
Invader
yeah.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
None the wiser, if I'm being brutally honest.
And also, Wayne says, I know you don't warships. Can anybody tell me about the Ark Royal 1 to 700 decals, please? Yeah, you're right, I don't.
What was the question? Sorry, Phil.
It's about 1 to 700 decals for the Ark Royal.
God.
There you go. Brian says, Wayne, the hobby company at Milton Keynes be able to help. Yeah, but don't forget, that's the Tamiya Italy importer and things, so it depends if you're talking about if you've got it, like, as a new kit.
I'd like someone to do an injection moulded 70s one in 1700 with that aircraft carrier.
Will of Sherwall says, got some Plus Model 135th scale bricks. Very bricky. Yeah, Sterling models. There we go. So I missed that one. Stan says about Sterling models. Perhaps check with those for decals for it.
Yeah, they're the company that do lots of boat stuff, don't they?
Yes. Welcome to Modelling with Matt. Too close. Take it out a bit.
No, I'm just testing something.
That's it. Perfect. We don't need to see up his nose. It's otherwise you. Yeah. Don't. Otherwise it will be doing that. It will trouble focusing.
Tell me when.
In a bit. Go in a bit. Bit more. That'll do.
Sure?
Yeah.
I'll bring in a little bit more like
The
that.
thing is, it will have trouble focusing on it if you're too close.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Alright, just give me a minute then just to get this together.
Are
Welcome
you using
to
your stand?
Modelling with Matt Hour. Hey, look, we need a sound effect for this. Hold on. Sound effect. What have we got?
Matt, you using your stand, yeah?
What stand? No, I can't pin that to a stand. I'm going to just do it here.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were doing the figure.
No, I'm not doing the figure. I'm doing something else when I can find something to eat.
That's it. He's ready.
Yeah, I'm prepping. I'm prepping.
Oh right. Okay. Sorry.
I'm prepping, mate. Prepping. I've got far too much crap.
I think it's focusing on your metal tray, not the...
Yeah, it's
So
alright.
once he gets his hand in there, he should be all right. I'll keep an eye on him.
I've got the thing I can see my screen, so
Yeah, but not when you're painting.
I'm not painting out. I'm only going to put a wash on. Oh.
No, we want everything.
You do, yeah.
We want a full masterclass.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're not going to get that, I'm afraid. Right. So let's just pull out a bit and I'll pull back.
That's what she said.
Exactly.
The innuendos in this afternoon. On another level.
Yeah, well, it is like a proper Saturday afternoon with a carry-on film.
It is. So as you know, we have started now selling Mig Productions washers, which is an enamel wash. So there's plenty of other manufacturers as well who do them, or you can even make your own if you've got your Humbrol paint. So just a quick demo for people who've never used them, and basically a quick way of doing it. So what I'm going to do is, off that diorama that I showed you all earlier, I've got the door, which I did a bit of painting and chipping on, which you can zoom in a little bit. Is that enough for you, Phil? Is that perfect?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
So you can see, I've done a bit of chipping on it and everything. So what I'm going to do is just highlight and, you know, bring out the grain of the wood on the separation between the panels, obviously around the back, around here. So good rule of thumb is with these washers, I'd definitely say with these and probably the oils as well, if you're going to make them with oils, is to put it over a satin coat. Don't put it on a gloss coat because there's nothing to grip to. And if you put it on a matte coat, it does tend to soak in and stain and be troublesome to get back off. So a good satin coat will go a long way to helping you when you're cleaning up. So I've already just stirred this up. And just take a brush. It's basically going to be as easy as this. So you take a bit on the brush. And the filler reaction should just dot it on and just draw in where you need it to go. Right. If it's not flowing, which this isn't brilliantly flowing, you can take a bit of what I've got here is just a clean bit of odourless thinner. And sort of pre-wet that into where you want it to go. So you should then get it just there you go. Just flow into wherever you want it. Fine then. The neater you keep this, the less cleanup you normally have. So. Okay. So then what we need to do, and this is a bit of a crucial part of this, is to thoroughly let it dry. Do not try and clean it up when it's wet.
So it's a bit like I was saying with mine. It's that thing about finding the bite time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if it's too wet, all you're going to do is draw it clean off.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
you need to allow it to do its stuff.
Yeah. And being enamel, this stuff does dry really fast anyway. So, you know, a minute or two and it will, you'll know, obviously, when it's dried off. So we'll put that to one side, we'll let it dry. We'll go back to this motley crew and then we'll come back and do clean up.
Nice. Hold on, I've got to find my button. Here we go.
Or shall I do something interesting if I was cleaning up road wheels?
Describing.
Tired.
And this is should have done like Blue Peter and here's one appeared earlier, but you know, I didn't keep far ahead.
Yeah, well, that's always my excuse. I always forget that.
I know it would have been a good idea, wouldn't it? Keep the thing going.
Yeah, it's all right. It's fine. Carry on.
Yeah, carry on.
That's what I'm doing, which is very boring.
So I've just added a little bit of streaking just down the back here, just down in there and all these areas, and a few other little ones at the top, a few little ones on the vortex generators, which is, you could use a similar technique to what Matt's literally doing now, but all I do is a little bit of oil. So this is neat oils on the brush, and then all we do is just tap the area with a spot, and then obviously we don't need capillary action like Matt's got, because of obviously it's not got anything to run down like grain or anything else. So we're going to force its hand by using it neat. So we just put these on, and then you can pick out panels as well. Just put some on like the leeward edge of a panel as if it's coming up through it. So you always tend to get leaks around engine things and stuff like that. And then obviously we've got these little like vortex generators on here, and there's some more at the front, and then we just pop these on. And again, anywhere hydraulic-y would leak from flaps and things like that, control surfaces, then you take your brush, and this is one pass, so you're just going to go direction of airflow, so either put it towards you or away from you, and then what you can do is you can literally, so it's a stabbing motion down onto it. You don't want to be brushing up because you're going to drag it the wrong way, but all we do is pull it down, so it's like a stabbing thing, and you can drag it down in areas just to start it off, and then obviously the more you keep going over it, the more it's going to physically blur it. So, and you're just going to blend it in until you've got to the area or the type of effect you want. So this is quite good for finishing off, because obviously it sort of dry brushes as it puts it down, and then again, the more you go at it, the more you can fade it. So if you want to put down, and obviously I'm doing this for a sort of a hydraulic leak on an aerofoil, but if you're thinking about staining, so this works the same. If you're doing a vehicle and you want to do rain marks, heavy ones, you can literally have it so it just comes straight down. Same thing, and then obviously I do it here, but you could use a brush if you want to, or say same thing, get your finger in and you can just fade them until they look right from your point of view. You know, normally the alternative of doing it, if you weren't doing it this way, would be to come in with a, you know, technically an airbrush, mask the top half and then spray it downwards, but you never get that sort of sharpness that you can get with a brush, and that's the point to it. And hopefully you can see on this wing now, it's picking up quite nicely, how we faded back the green, so it's faded in as well, and with the greys and all the others, and it's all coming through. And then obviously you can come back if you wanted to with the actual oils. If I can find the brush I was doing it with, here it is. With one like this, and if you wanted to, like here, you can see it sort of faded off a little bit. You can just take a tiny little bit of oil and just come over here. So we've just got a little tiny bit on this edge, and then you can just come along and you can just very lightly, and again, when we're talking lightly, we're just gently brushing it across, so we can put in that dirt around, as you can see down in here. Actually, the camera picks it up better than my eyes do because I can hardly see it from me, but on the camera it's quite strong. But you can put it down in there with these areas like this, and you can fade it, and then again either come back with the brush and you can just fade it in a little bit, just to give it that really worn out type look, or again you can come back in with your finger. And as the Klingon said to the, no, alright, I won't do that. You're all set to go. And it's just this thing that I think it's going to be the thing for this series of shows, is putting on, taking off, gently building up all these areas to really make everything come back in. And again, we're just going to pop these down in here. So you're fading back with one point, and then you're putting in more colour. So you've started off with your base colour, and this goes back to us, we're talking in the shows recently, we've been saying that your colours don't have to be spot on, you just want them to be in the ballpark. There we go, just like that, sir, she said. Cool.
Very nice.
Very, very nice.
Very nice.
So, hold on, there we go. So there you go, you end up with something like that, Mrs.
Yep.
Very, very nice. Right, how are we doing? So, how's Nathan doing? How's the scribing going?
Alright, sort of rubbish one. But
So you're removing the raised panel lines now, yeah?
I'm following the raised panel lines where I can.
Yeah.
Obviously then everything's a little bit out, but it's like, what am I going to do about these ones? I don't know. It's there's a really tricky one on top of the wing here, it's all curved.
Mm-hmm.
That sounded a bit scarce then when I said that, didn't I? I don't know. I'm trying to think of making like a template to follow.
Yeah.
I'm in an issue with this one.
We'll just follow you for a sec. I'll just do a question. Somebody, and I must admit, I've missed it now, where you was asking where you can buy UMM scrapers in the UK or Europe. You can't. You can only get them directly from John in the USA. So if you go to ummusa.com, buy from there. It's a little bit clunky how it works, but I understand it. It's one of those things where you basically buy it, he'll come back with a price to you, and then shipping. Once you've got it all sorted, it's very straightforward, but to start with, it's not just click and go, his website, and I can appreciate it. We have trouble sending stuff because of the postage costs and things like that, of working it out precisely. So that's what you need to do. Have a word with John. He's a really nice guy. He's a modeler. So he'll know exactly what you're on about and everything, and he'll get you in the right direction. But many Flory Models members have got it and bought from him, never had a problem at all. It's just, it seems a little bit clunky, and sometimes it can take him a day or two to get back to you as well, but he will do. So bear with him and you'll be good to go.
So I'm just literally following the panel lines. Around we go.
Is that your god end, Scribe?
It is. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, obviously everyone's going to get annoyed when I tell them I'm using a God Hand MTY-S-R.
That you can't buy anywhere.
Can't buy anywhere outside of Japan.
It's like a sushi knife.
It is. I can do the same technique with this. I'm just resting the saw against the panel line. Just walking it round, really. Just kind of literally rest it, cut, and just rotate round. So if you can't get one of the God Hand ones, the razor saw is just as good. But the thing that's nice about the God Hand is just look at the size of the tool.
Yeah.
That's the benefit. I think the thing with scribing tools, and this is where UMM win, is the tools need to be small, get more control. But I can do the whole. I mean, the benefit of this tool is it does two jobs. You know, it's a multiple. It's a saw that you can also scribe with. And I'm literally just resting it against the panel line and pushing.
3 by looks of that tool. It looks like you can open a bottle with that blade.
It's the blade.
The trouble is, they are quite fragile, those blades, and they do tend to shatter. I've got loads that have snapped on me.
And the blade well past its replacement, really, isn't it? But it's working.
I don't think I've ever seen one of them saws who actually got 2 full blades in them.
No, look, it's a slit.
I can show you. Mine has.
Mine has.
I changed mine the other day.
Oh, there you go.
That's exactly how mine was. Changed it the other day.
You've never used them yet.
Yeah, that's it. Just to follow on from Nathan, how he's doing is just to show this blade area, which a lot of people think like, what the hell is it? It's quite sharp, and obviously it's technically on the handle side of it. If you're holding it sort of like this, it's, you know, it's not that sharp enough to cut your hand. But what it's great for is that when I use it, is down when you're doing curved panel lines like that, I put the blade in to the panel line and I just roll it across, so you cut with it, and it makes a very fine, nice panel line in there without it being too strong. So literally you just place it into it and you can walk it round and cut, and the cutting edge gives you the new panel line right the way in very, very nicely. But the other thing as well, if you're doing rescribing, what you can actually do is place this one in here and use it as a push tool. So if you needed to get in here, we're saying about the OLEF ones, you can't really get in. But the great thing with these is obviously you can just come along and push it instead of pulling it. So you can literally just come along like this and just push it right into the join of exactly where you want to go. And that's how it works. So again, like this one in here, this one he's doing yet, I haven't done it yet. You can just push it across. So if you watch my one of actually on the Vulcan, the leading edges of it, it's got quite huge big around the front here. These all the way around the front, just curving the blade round and going through it and doing that type of motion with it. So you get that nice curved, goes all the way around. Because many a times you see modelers and they stop because they forget to do it. But if you put the blade in there, it curves all the way around and you're all good to go. But you can see under here, clean off the excess oil paint. But you see how it carries right the way around, and that is the thing about, you know, you're just coming in here. If I get the camera to focus, there we go, just on the edge. So again, you literally just place the blade in like that and just roll it round. And the same thing, you just come along and roll it round, and it puts in a very fine line to it. So it's all not too heavy. Sorry, Ned, carry on.
No, so the God Hand, the way to describe this is it's like the UMM tools that you've all got, but it's a file.
Yes.
And I mean, I've got the right-handed file. They've released the left-handed one since, but I've managed to use the right-handed one. I'm literally just doing, like you said, just push it round. And just slowly build the... I mean, the next stage of this is fixing all the slip-ups, but it's just... The blade will do the same job. But I'm finding... I'm following the panel lines because it's lazy, really, isn't it? So all my panel lines are like a 1 mil out now, aren't they? But
yeah, they're all completely 1 mil to the left.
yeah, exactly.
Entire aircraft.
Just a case of just cutting, pushing it And then just slowly. But I think the thing with scribing is to put the minimum force into it. Because then that reduces your chance of going.
Yeah, slippage I think is the main thing, isn't it? You want to keep it really nice and gentle. So if you do slip, you don't travel too far. Because if you're pushing hard, you know you're going to travel miles.
Yeah, you're not going to cut a panel line in one pass. You've got to.
No, that's it. It's lots of little jobs make up the big picture.
And then screw do it, leave it a couple of days, and fix the slip ups. But this curve here on this one here has gone wrong. I'm going to have to work it out. I might not even put it in. I might just have to forget that one. I need to make some sort of template that I can follow. It's such a complex curve. I'm thinking I might not bother. No one's going to know it's supposed to be there.
How would you put that curve in, Phil?
Which one is it? Sorry, I was looking at mine.
If I draw it with the pencil,
Yeah.
there's a curve that goes like that and comes around the other side down
So that's
there.
where like not Dynatech, the 3M.
Ah, the bendy tape.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't find that bendy. I've got it all here. Carving tape as well, supposed to be able to do it, but you find it doesn't conform that well. So the only thing you could do with that is to, not being funny, you see how you've just drawn it on, would you be happy with that line? Is to use a needle and just very gently follow it round to start with. So the needle gives you a little thing. So it's that thing of taking your time and do it with a needle and just gently scratch it round as if you've just drawn it on. And then obviously if you wanted to afterwards, you could follow up there with, to be honest, I would use pushing technique with the scriber to go round that, because it gives you greater curve. You can do curves when you're pushing. When you're dragging, it's very hard to do a curve, but you can actually push round corners with it. But I would literally do it somewhat like that. I'll tell you what, I'll have a go, shall I?
Well then, it turned into scribing hour, hasn't it?
Yes, this is it. This is welcome to scribing hour. Do, 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 do. Right, let me move that out of the way of it. Let me grab some gear, if I can find some. What do we want? Let's grade is what we got.
It's time for Buster.
I can use Junior Buster. I don't know. I actually got. I think Buster might be too, because he's got so many coats of paint on it. I don't think he'll work. Right, hold on. Let me just clear some oils out. Get rid of that. So all this has got is a needle in it. It's just a holder. So there's nothing fancy about this. This is purely just a needle in this. So the type of thing you could do is, hold on, I'm going to have to move the Vulcan somewhere. Let me clear some space. Let's move him out of the way a little bit. So if I was under here, let's get rid of the wash and other junk. Let's assume it is a curve. I've got a pencil here somewhere, I'll draw it on myself. So if we wanted to do a curve like on here, and it was a curve something like that, yeah? Can we sort of see that? Right? Probably, chances are what I would do is I would just come along with a blade.
Just put it in freehand.
And just freehand it round.
I'll give that a go in a minute.
Because again, you should have a small curve there anyway, don't you?
I've got something I can sort of follow.
So it's always, when you're doing it this way, it's always easier to pull it towards you than away from you. But
No, Mr. Buller's on there.
JD.
Hello. I'll give that a go in a second, actually. I might just sort of freehand it and see how it goes. I mean, the best thing about scribing on this is I can screw glue it and sand it. Okay.
Yeah. So there we go, we got it roughly in there. Then what I would do is, if I can find where I've just put it, here it is. What you can do, you can grab the UMM one, pop it in the hole, and then roughly get going. I don't want to push it too hard. Right, if I sand this back and I'll pop a bit of wash in it. We pour on 20 layers of paint. If you can see it, just take it around like that. I know it's not the straightest. Let the oils dry out and you'll see it, but just to show, and put it in there like that.
I've already made a dog's dinner of one side, but see if I can get the other side first. I'll go for the sprue game, sand it and have a go. Get the pencil off and do it.
You ready for part 2, Matt?
Yes, I am ready for part 2 and you lot are ready. No rush.
Did John get very wet? Delivering his post in the rain.
Posting in the rain. Sounds like a song from the 50s.
Right, okay, Matt. Ready when you are.
Alright, no worries. I need my visor on for this, I'm afraid.
You've got the visor in.
If my head gets in the way, gives a shout. It's okay, the wash is dry as we can see. It's a nice bit of staining, which we really, unless you're into that, but I don't want that, I want a clean wash. So next step is to take some nice odourless thinner. Let me get it on camera where I'm at. Here we go. Odourless thinner, this is obviously just the AK one. Decanted into here. Nice brush. And the trick I find is obviously soak your brush, but then unload it. A bit like when I'm painting with acrylic paint. You just want this so it's damp, not absolutely soaking wet. Okay. And then we'll just keep this on cam. It's just where the staining is, you don't want it, is just literally just clean it up. Push it back into obviously the crevice of the panel line, depending
Can you
on
move
what.
your head back just a touch?
Sorry, I thought I might be in the way. These optimizers aren't the best, so yeah.
That's it.
So, like I say, all you're doing is just manipulating the wash where you want it. Make sure you keep your brush clean. That's the other thing, keep your brush clean. Just keep unloading it and dipping it in and cleaning it, because otherwise what you're going to do is just reactivate the wash, soak it up in your brush and then just spread it around, which you don't want if you really want a clean panel line wash. It's just where my camera is, I think, while my head's in the way. Hold on. Sorry about this. I'm trying to get a better angle so I'm not in it. So yeah, and it is as simple as that. So really all you're doing, I mean, you can do this with a cotton bud or a piece of, you know, kitchen roll as well. It will do the same job.
Yeah.
I just find it actually quite therapeutic, to be honest, to do it with a brush, which is weirdly, you know, probably not normal, but just find you've got more control of where you want to, what you want to take off and what you want to keep on. Again, they do many different flavours of this wash. So it's good for staining, obviously general washing, very much like the oil paint, but I think we've got more uses with the oil paint than this.
Yeah.
Honest. But again, they do, and obviously you can mix these with the oil paints as well. They are interchangeable. So again, it's just one of them other tools to have in your toolbox.
Yes.
You know, and like I say, it dries a lot faster than oil paints. So again, if speed's your thing and you're a bit more of a speed builder and you can't be bothered to obviously leach the oils out to get back to pure pigment, then these are another good option.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. I'm going to finish cleaning that up. Well, you get the gist of what I'm doing. You don't really need to see me clean every panel up with it. But so anything you want to add?
No, I was going to say, it's one of those things where if you've never used oils before, I think it's one of those things where until you've really started experimenting and playing, and you know, this is very true of me, because for years and years and years I did all my weathering with an airbrush. You know, this type of weathering I've done here today, I would have lightened the centres of each panel with an airbrush. I would have post-shaded to put the shading round. But the trouble with it is it blurs it. Your airbrush is never going to be sharp enough, especially when you're down to 72nd scale stuff, to make it look sort of realistic. So the whole point really is by using oils, you can get that sort of sharpness, and also it works the other way. When it blends very naturally. And when you're using oils on washes with texture, it works absolutely fantastic because it naturally just pulls slightly in the recesses. But the same is true on your model as well. If you're using, like I've done on here, I've just got a satin finish on here. It's not particularly, you've seen the shine on it, it's not like flat or anything, but it's enough for it to grip on there just a little bit. But just be mindful, if you are putting it over a very flat finish, it will get caught in that texture. You can't blend it around too much, so make sure it's on a more of a sort of smoother finish, shall you say. But the great thing is it's safe. So if you've done like Matt's done on the door there, and I did with this one, it's got a seal coat down on it, it's just got lacquer, to be honest, on here. The oils are enamel based, which means they will release. So if you were not happy of how it's going out at any point, you just wash it off and go again. Whereas the trouble you'd have if you'd sprayed it through post shading and stuff like that, you're stuck, because how are you going to get it off unless you've got a really good sealer coat down in there? You know, the risk of coming along with thinners and that trying to take off your weathering afterwards is pretty much a no-go. So that is it. Don't be frightened of it, and you can be, as you've seen me prattling around today with it, quite artistic, so you can get your finger in with it, you can rub them round, you can do various things, but it is safe. So again, it's not going right or just not liking it. Honestly, you just come along with a little bit of enamel thinners, give it a wipe, chances are nothing will happen, and then all of a sudden it releases and it just flows off of it, and you can just say, right, I'm going to let that dry, let it dry for a couple of hours, come back, start again. Or you can just overcoat as well, so you just overcoat and build up, overcoat and build up, and that's what you end up doing with all of it.
Yeah. And there, look, there you go. So you get definition there between the planks of wood.
Yeah.
And again, you can go as strong or as light as you want.
Mm.
And again, that's the same with oils. You've got a lot of durability, I suppose, as well. But you know, a lot of options of different contrasts that you want.
Hmm. And that is the thing. I think also as well, to be honest with you, there's no real difference between oils and enamel washes, because a lot, like in my case, unless I've been using them neat, they're the same thing. And the great thing is, obviously, if you buy them, like obviously we got the mid-range there and everything else, and I've got them as well. It is that thing where, you know, if you don't want to make up your own wash, so forth and so on, then you can just, you know, buy the wash. You have it ready. I like here messing around with, but you might notice, like classic example is with mine, you see how it separates. So I've basically got brown here, but actually if you go underneath, this is black. So, and that's because it's an oil when it keeps separating, because it's not designed in theory to be made into a wash because it's an oil. So it is that thing where obviously enamels that are ready to go tend to be that colour. So this one you do need to keep, you know, mixing them up and changing them. But, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm quite a fan of just oils out of the bottle because you can just grab it and go.
That's it, it's convenience, isn't it? And again, like we've discussed on quite a few shows, is the amount of time that people have for the hobby.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
We're quite lucky, aren't we? Let's be honest, we're really, really lucky. You know, we have, you know, dedicated time to do what we do. But for other people, it's perhaps a couple of hours at night or a bit of time at the weekend. So time is precious to what we do in that time. And I think it's like anything, it's convenience, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's what it is, you know. Or if you think, you know, again, I think more so with the enamel washes than obviously like again with the oils, because of the leaching time of the linseed oil. Is again, they're just there if that night or whatever time you've got, you just want to do, if you've got multiple projects, I fancy doing some washes tonight or a bit of weathering, they're ready for you to do.
Yeah.
Where obviously with the oils, you've got to pre-plan that, because obviously, like I say, you need to get your bit of cardboard, put your oils down, leach the, you know, that's a good couple of hours at least while the oil drains, yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
So, again, they're there. They're there and they work.
Stuart says, stupid question, do these washes differ from filters, and where would you use a filter?
Yeah, filters are just for tinting. There is in this range as well, the filters and the washers, they do both. A filter is what I call dirty thinners.
Yeah, that's what I describe it as well.
So basically, if you can see that I've got, you know, the brown wash in there, when that's mixed up, that will make a filter. And what will a filter does is change the hue of the colour that's on your model.
Yes.
So if you want to do a couple of panels of just a different shade, but not completely a different colour, that's where the filters come in.
Yeah.
Where a wash is a bit thicker, and then that is designed for highlighting detail, really. You know, like I've done with a door, you know, into the lines of the wood, or the half track, or whatever, you know, you put it like round details there, or around where the rocket launcher is. As you can see, it's a dark, obviously staining, and then that just adds contrast, you know, into these panel lines here as well, and it makes separation for different panels or aspects of the model. Yeah, it just makes it more 3D, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. And again, like, you know, I said earlier in that, it's that thing with all the hobby and with all the weathering, it's that layering effect. So, you know, you put down one wash, it's very simple to think, I'll just put down a wash and that's done. But realistically, if you want it to have that depth, you need multiple layers. So your eye is taking on a journey as it's looking around everything. So obviously there on Matt's truck, if we go a bit closer, there we go. It's all right.
Hold on,
there we
zoom
go.
in. Because if you can see, sorry, a bit close, can you see this panel here?
Yeah.
So that's got multiple, because that said washes in obviously to highlight it, but it's also got like rust chips and then oil lightning as well.
Yeah.
If that, you know, just to break up, as I think you can see it on the camera, and same with the roof, and it's just textures. It is literally all about different textures and effects, just to make it look less toy-like.
Yes.
I think, isn't it? I mean, you can really see in there. There's obviously weathering as well. We're down in them hatches.
Yeah.
But this is nothing more than an Italeri kit from the 70s or 80s, I think it is. It's an old kit. But again, it's well designed. The tracks are weak on it. I've put resin wheels on it because, again, the wheels are not a strong point. But the rest of it is pretty much out of the box, to be honest. And, you know, it is what it is. It's all right.
Very nice.
But I think, again, here you go. Look, it's got my little oil can, look. My little shell oil can, just to prop the door up. I think, to me, I do think, obviously, we've said it a few times, is like the painting and weathering is what just brings it all to life, to me.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, hold on, let me just pull back out again.
We were saying, really, wasn't it? Yeah, we had a complete show on this. It's the artistic side of it comes out. This is where you as a modeler put your stamp onto your model, you know, and like we said before, sometimes it's probably not very realistic, but it looks amazing and everyone loves that effect, you know. But that's the point of this. It's your model. You know, the hope would be if you ever took that to a show and you had 20 people build the same model, none of them are going to look alike, because they're all going to be slightly different weathered from each person has that particular, you know, sort of style or the like or what they want it to look like. You might get somebody who just doesn't even weather it. You might get a guy who weathers it completely to death, you know. And that's the nice thing about this entire hobby, is you're personalizing every single piece of work you do to how you want it to be, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's just being an individual, isn't it?
Molly,
Yeah.
we're doing a live show here, for God's sake. I'm
What's
being
she done?
attacked.
She cooking this shit.
Oh, yeah. Molly, get out. You can't. Ah, Jesus. Look, hold on. Do you want to be on telly? Briefly, then you can get out. One dog. Free to a good home. Well, failing that, I will take cash. Won't we? What are we doing then, eh? Just get your 5 minutes of fame in. Is this what it is? Isn't it?
No, Rob, just to be on.
Oh, yes. He's on pretty much every single show. They say, where did you get the oil can?
It's Mini Art.
Mini Art. There we go.
Mini Art 1940s oil cans. They're different ones. There's one on the back as well. I don't know if you can see it on the step, but there's one on the step as well. And yeah, it's a Mini Art. That's why I say with the Mini Art kit, I love them because these accessories where you was buying resin or you were just stuck with jerry cans in the past, they now do numerous different, different stuff you can add. So don't just think it's for dioramas. You can chuck it on your tanks or if you've got your 35th aircraft now, they go with that as well.
Yeah, that's it.
So, yeah.
There we go. That's me top weathering pretty much done on my Vulcan. I've just done down the sides as well. So we put in some streaky bits on the side, exactly the same as we did the front end. So that's all in. I've got to do the tail yet. As you can see, the tails are still clean on here. But hopefully you can see we've gone in and we've now weathered down, beaten down
On camera.
all the different areas onto it to give it that sort of nice bleached down, slightly worn. I've gone for look to the paintwork. So again, as you know, there's no difference in the colour. That's bog standard, no change of colours. It's all the oils now working like a filter in a lot of ways, but a lot more specific. But again, as the Klingons would say. So yeah, happy with how she's doing. She's doing all right. So I've just got to do the other side of the nose, and we'll be doing good.
Bring the level to it, doesn't it? That's fine.
Well,
Yeah.
that's it.
So,
So Andy just then was whizzing his wheels round.
hold on, mate. Boys, 3-minute warning for the big announcements.
Oh yeah, 3 minutes until we announce next year's SIG and group build lineup. Is Andy still muted?
No, I'm unmuted now.
All right.
Because these things have got, where am I?
Hold on, come in.
A tread pattern and some really bad location pin marks where they've come off. And I'm having this really battered and worn and taking all the tread off on the outer wheel. So I started sanding them and I looked in my box and I found I got that.
Oh,
Perfect, it fits inside.
You get made to measure.
I know,
I made to measure nil.
perfect, yeah.
that's
So-
handy.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, just using this handly, I don't know where I got this from, this sanding stick from.
I don't know. Is it
Yeah.
one of those funny files from
Yeah.
Superdrug?
Yeah. But yeah, it worked, yeah, perfect, just like, oh, that's a bit fast. And it's like, go away and it's like, a few minutes, it's done.
You see, if you don't like cleaning up wheels, there you go. Make yourself a little jig,
Yeah,
a little power tool,
yeah.
and a sanding stick, and it's the quickest way of cleaning up seam lines ever.
Yeah.
It's mucky, but covered in dust. But I mean, I've got the trumpeter, one of these, but of course it was flat and I couldn't use it. So this one I picked up off Amazon a while ago, and I've been meaning to test it out and try it. I think it was about 15 quid off Amazon.
You know, I'm about to say that because we can't get the trumpy ones. Them ones off Amazon, I go and grab one. 'Cause they're all right, aren't they?
Yeah, sure, it's 15 quid. You get them with different names on them. So obviously it's a generic thing that different companies put their names on. But yeah, works perfectly. And you can get a light on it as well.
Hey, look at that.
I see. Comes with a light. So
Model that.
Yeah, it seems to be going right. It's not as adjustable, speed-wise as the trumpeter one, but yeah, it's not too bad. It's definitely slower than my. I've got a proper Dremel, It'll definitely go slower than that. Yeah, because the main thing we want is a slow speed, isn't it? Otherwise, you end up melting the plastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems to be. I've got like a proper Dremel thing here. Yeah, with.
I don't know what. I had a Dremel, wanted one, and my mother-in-law bought me one for Christmas.
Yeah.
I've never used it, or I've used it once.
The thing I think, especially this one, I mean, I've got a, the attachment thing with it, and the big Dremel.
I've got one of them.
Yeah, it's just too fast.
I've decided I'm taking it down to the unit to do my beetle with.
Yeah.
So industrial-wise, for clean rust off and welds and whatever else, and it will ever be for modelling because it's just too quick, like you said. It's just
too powerful.
It's powerful, so yeah, it's going with me. Yeah. Right, 4 o'clock, Pete.
Hold on, let me just do this.
Come on.
I can't, hold on. I'm still literally just finishing this thing.
And also, this thing that I've got, you get a load of tools with it as well, which you don't get with the trumpeter one.
We get drum grinders. Is it a drum grinder? Is it called?
Yeah, load of them and load of dental.
Oh yeah.
Doing your own dental work.
Yeah, save yourself some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems to be right there.
I'm almost there, hold on.
We're nearly there. Let that 4:05 announcement then, not 12.
It's worth the wait.
Honest.
It's worth the wait.
Hold on. So you end up bollocksing your model, innit, because you rush it. Or other things, apparently. Apologies. Is it past 9 o'clock yet?
Somewhere in the world it is.
Can I do some virtual fly spots on this?
There's some virtual pigeon poo.
Yeah. This is true. This is what we need. Right,
That's what
okay.
I thought we built, but I could think to have had it.
There we go. So I was just doing the bit on the front of this thing, you see. Dun, dun, dun. Right, okay, let me put this down. Clear some space for the big announcement. The bit everybody's been waiting for. Shall I put a camera on me? Right, shall I word from our sponsor? Right, okay. We'll do this, then we'll have a look around. So, obviously, if you're not a Flory Models member, you can see what we'll be up to next year. So if you want to join us, please feel free. This is what we'll be up to next year. Do you want to talk us through it, Nate, seeing as you've put all the hard work in here?
Go on then. Am I
I'll
going to
bring
do
it
this
up
next
and then
slide,
you
please?
Can you put him on full screen so I can mute myself and blow my nose, please?
Right, here we go.
Right. Okie dokie. So this will be available in the forum shortly.
Yes.
So you just have a proper read of. So the introduction page is mainly about medals. We'll come back to that page in a minute. So the first group build is 70s, which is a natural progression from the 60s group build. So same rules as the 60s group build, really, just one decade on.
Mm-hmm.
That brings in all sorts of wonderful things like the end of the Vietnam War and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so that one's a fairly straightforward one, isn't it? The next one is the Greeble group build, which is, this one started as the kit bashing one, so you can see the box, the bottom. So the first thing it covers is kit bashing, which is literally sort of getting 2 commercially available kits or 2 or more and creating something else.
Mm-hmm.
It includes the complete scratch build, like bits of balsa wood and plasticard. Back form, because building back form is I know that's using the kit, but the skills to get a vac form kit built are the same sort of skills that you're going to use to scratch build something. And then what we've got for the sort of non-sort of builder members of the forum, we've got, you can do a conversion, so you could buy a resin conversion and convert something into something else. We've got what if. So if you don't like sanding and filling and all that, you could take a kit and just change the paint scheme. And then finally, we thought for the few members that have got CAD and 3D printers, let's see what you could do with that. So if you take some CAD, design your own CAD and print that, so that's included as well. So the Greeble SIG is just basically creating something from something new. Build a spaceship out of bits of plastic, or take a kit and mess the paint scheme up, do something else with that one. So
can I just ask something?
Go on.
I've been meaning to ask this. Daft question, but why is it a Greeble? What's a Greeble?
A Greeble or a Greeblies are what the Industrial Light and Magic did. Is when they had like a spaceship, they glued little bits of detail on just to make it a bit more interesting.
Oh right, I never knew that.
I'm glad you asked, Matt.
I've been meaning to ask him since it's been figured, and I forgot, or you know, and I didn't know that. I never knew that at all. That's what a Greeble is.
I thought I must have been stupid because I didn't know.
Oh yeah, well.
So Greeblies are little surface details just to break something up. So Star Wars is where it started really, because that's where they stuck all the little bits of plastic kits on, didn't they?
Yeah,
So
right.
if we say, so take a Spitfire, convert it into a different mark, do a German FA-18 Hornet, take something that does, basically create something that doesn't quite exist, or build a back form, scratch build something, or kit bash something. And I think what this is the most artistic form of modelling. I think it's a real chance for you to sort of be. This is modelling in the movies. Is what this sort of ends up.
So just for reference, the picture in the background, as you can see, is from Armageddon. So this was the space shuttles, and this is ILM's model from Armageddon, where they sort of converted it into the moon ships, if you like, that could the shuttles that could land on the asteroid and so forth and so on. So that's the same thing. So what you want to do, if you in its purest form, is you're going to take a kit and convert it into something else. So we've all seen those fantastic ones of like 109s that have been converted into cars. From that type of thing, we've also seen a lot of obviously planes that have been converted into spaceships. So think, what was that film called? Commander or Command, whatever it was, where they used British Lightnings.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? They used British Lightning front ends onto a spaceship, and then they have models of those for it and stuff as well. So you can do that. But as I said, we have also included 3D printing, vac forming into it, and obviously, so you can do it from a simple form, of literally just adding a few conversions and various things to an existing type kit, or you could scratch build something, or you could actually use a couple of kits to make something completely different. So it doesn't just look like a 109 on wheels, it looks like a spaceship with a 109 front end on it or something, or whatever you wanted to do. So that's basically of it. So obviously the Mad Max type things as well, they would sort of count into it, because you'd have to scratch build all of that. So that it has got huge scope. That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Mark Mack said you can take some Shelf of Doom kits and morph them into.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you've got some old Shelf of Doom stuff that you're never going to finish, and you can then turn them into something quite spectacular. So
it lends itself quite well to car kits, because you could do like a custom Beetle job. You could take a car kit and lower the suspension, do something with the roof, do
wheels, different interiors.
Exactly. So I think it's just a group build that's going to take. It's the second group build of the year, so I think people will get some sort of idea. Take a Border Models 1/32 scale Lancaster and turn it into a Manchester.
Yes.
There you go.
Absolutely.
50p in the jar for that.
Or a Lincoln. Change the engines all out. Scratch build your engines.
I mean, if you're looking at, if I don't want to steal Pramjit's thunder, but there's some conversion kits out for the Mosquito already, so you could do something very real world. You just want to take a kit and turn it into something else, or you can do something completely bonkers. It's up to you.
Yes. I must admit, I've got some good ideas for that one that I'm planning on doing. So yeah, should be good.
Now we're into the SIGs. So the first one is Flashpoint, which is a short war. Which was, to be honest, we brought this one in so you can do the Falklands. We're taking any short war of black, I think it says 12 weeks or less. So Falklands War, Gulf War One, basically any war that Israel ever got involved in, because they've never lasted long. And not stuff like Operation Linebacker or Operation Market Garden, because they're part of a wider conflict, but we're looking to bring in any short war that you can think of. So I've given a few examples of the Falklands War, the First Gulf War, Suez Crisis, Yom Kippur, and the shortest ever war was the Anglo-Zanzibar War that lasted about 45 minutes.
Does the soccer wars count?
So Grenada, do your own research, find out when it started and finished. Bay of Pigs, Soccer War, all these sort of things. Just go to Wikipedia and look for a start and end point. If it's less than 12 weeks, it's all right. So
Matt, where are you? You in the toilet? You sound like you're miles away.
Oh, mic wrong way round, sorry.
Yeah, that'll be it. It sounds like you're in the loo, shouting from the loo. That's better.
Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah, I put them because I was sat at the other chair. I did the mic the wrong way round and it spun it round. Sorry about that.
So there's a little bit of a research. The onus is on you to research the start and end point of the war, but don't do Operation XYZ from World War II.
Peter Roxy said Cyprus maybe. Did the Cyprus War ever finish?
It's still ongoing, isn't it?
Yeah, because I was there with the UN about 20 years after it had gone on, and it was still that while we were there.
I mean, we've been asked to do Gulf War things and we've been asked to do Falklands things, and that was created to sort of cover both those things. But just go to Google, find the length of the conflict, and 12 weeks would be plenty to cover all these little conflicts that pop up here and there.
Cool.
The second one is the Scandi SIG, but to make it more geographically correct, the Nordic SIG. So basically Scandinavia plus Denmark, Iceland, Greenland. So lots of Saab, Biggins, Norwegian things. Finland's included as well. So the list of countries, if I can read that, we've got
Volvo,
Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Faroe Islands, Greenland, and a couple of other little ones. But you could do something real world, or you could take something from.
Could I do a Volvo truck?
Yeah, you could do elves and dwarves because they come from Norse mythology. You could even do a 132 scale IKEA workbench if you wanted.
yeah, you can do anything from IKEA.
You can build a scale model of an IKEA kit. So that's similar to the ones we've done in the past with sort of Latin America and stuff, but moving it into Europe this time, or a corner of it. Vikings obviously are perfect for this.
I know what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm going to make some Swedish meatballs.
132 meatballs. And then SIG 3
on scale.
And SIG 3 is something we've not done in a while, which is a manufacturer-based one. And that does include their kits appearing in other people's boxes. So the Revell have reboxed a couple of their kits over the years, haven't they?
And then Edard.
And so have Edard, yeah. So a Zvezda SIG to finish the year off.
Plenty of scope with that.
Oh yeah, there's loads. Any Zvezda kit in a Zvezda box or another person's box, as long as the plastic is Zvezda. There you go. That's it.
Very good. We've got the usual rules and the bits and pieces down in there. The build threads have been lined out as well. And again, so there's no medals for next year just because of the entire bull's ache that is from this year's ones. So what the plan is, we will be doing this year something a little bit different, or next year, a little bit different. We will pick the top 10 best build threads. So this is how it'll work. So the top 10 best build threads will get a medal and some prizes as well, and bits and pieces like that. Okay. So from that point of view, it'll be worth putting a little bit more effort in, and then we will pick the top 10. They're not going to be in any order, and it won't be obviously, 5 aircraft, 3 tanks and all the rest of it. It'll just be the top 10 best ones. So they'll be given then special medals. They'll be a little bit different to the ones we do at the moment, and those will be sent out obviously by courier, and we'll make sure they all get there and all the rest of it like that. And then what we're going to do is like a virtual certificate, which you'll be able to print off and display on your wall, as well as we're going to be doing little medal type things that will be able to appear on your signature to say that you took part in the particular ones.
So it's not the best build, is it?
It's not
So
the best
like
build,
a
it's the best build thread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's for the members who go that little bit above and beyond as well, trying to explain it. You know, obviously we do loads of videos explaining how to build models and all the rest of it. But as I said before, the whole point of doing the group builds and SIGs is so people will then follow along in your footsteps and be able to see how you did it, what colours you used, you know, what markings, what aftermarket, if you had any problems with your kit. So you're pointing all of those out as well. So that means everybody will, you know, be able to follow in your footsteps. And that's really what their whole point of doing them has always been, is to be that sort of encyclopedia of builds right the way through, and different techniques that people use.
But it means that a good builder and a not so good builder both can win.
Absolutely, yeah. You might think your model absolutely stinks, but if it's a fantastic build thread that is really helpful, and that's what we'll be looking for, is to have build threads that are really helpful and guide modelers along, new and old, through your build. And that's what we'll be looking for when we do it. Myself and the team will actually pick the winners from it as we make our way through. Excuse the dog.
What's she doing?
She's been bugging me for the last hour. I don't know quite what's up with it.
Does she need a wee?
Possibly. Is that the problem? I'm breaking my neck.
I have put a little bit of guidance at the end of the document that will go up in a bit for you to read, and then maybe sort of feedback and see what you think about it. But we're not asking people to put a photograph of every single sprue. You know, the first, we're not. If you're chasing a winning group build, it's just we can see the story of your build, so you don't have to go and suddenly take a million pictures of the box content and think you've got to do that. So I've put a little bit of a guide up for what we think a winning build thread might look like, but something that just tells a nice story of the journey you've been through. Point out a few hurdles and how you've overcome them, show what weathering you've done, and then I've also put something hopefully to make the final build reveal things a bit easier. So in some ways we're asking people to do a little bit less, but other people a little bit more. Just so someone can go through and think, that's how they did it, rather than, that's what's in the box. And you know, don't have to take a picture of every paint that you've used. But again, there's some text that's going to come up which hopefully sets out my thoughts on it, a little bit of a template for a reveal thread.
Yeah.
And I think, the medals, I'm going to have to design little digital ones, aren't I?
Yeah, well, as I say, we can sort the things out from that. It's one of those things. As I said, this year especially, you know, we've had the trouble because if you don't put down a value to them and you do it as a gift, the post office don't believe you, apparently German ones especially, so they just send them back to me. And then obviously, you know, I can't recoup the cost of the postage and all the rest of it, but we got the medal back. But a lot of cases, we never even got them back. And then if I put up a thing saying, it's just like €3 as a cost to get round that, then we had the trouble with people being charged 15, 16 euros to get the medal because it's only 60 cents for the tax, but then you got the handling fee. You know, of €13 or €14. So again, and then obviously people didn't want to pay it, so then they got sent back to me as well. So I was out of pocket through all the postage for it. So it just became a little bit of a nightmare of getting them through and out to people. And it's one of those things, you can't send it if it's free, and if you charge for a paperwork, people don't want to pay for it at the other end. So it just got a little bit gnarly this year. So we thought we would change it up. We did say about doing it, to be honest, this year, but we kept the format because we thought we might run into troubles anyway. But next year it will change. But hopefully this way it will be giving back a little bit more, you know, and things like that as well. So
what's the general feedback of our choices on chat? Because my computer's figured out my screen's opposite.
Guys said to make sure we're all on the same page, can you select the top 5 or 10 build threads from Camera Buller, for example, so everyone knows what is considered a good build thread?
We could have a go.
We will see, but then obviously we, you know, as you say, it's a SIG anyway, but we can. You'll know the ones we look for because they're the ones which have, as I say, we're not expecting you to take a photo of every single step right the way through. It's just one of those ones that tells a story from start to finish, because we're all guilty of it, is that you start off with gusto and then by the end it's like, and then I painted it, deckled it, weathered it, and there's the final reveal. And it's like, but what did you paint it with? And, you know, what decals did you use and what weathering did you use? But, you know, it happens because obviously people get short on time and it's stressful enough to build it on time, let alone do a thread on it as well. And that's what we'll just be looking for, is for the people who spend that little bit of time. And like I've said before, you know, you're giving up your time, I give something back as well. So that's the way it's always been. We've never done this thing about prizes for first, second and third, because we're not a competitive site, as all you know. So it's just that thing about just giving something back to the top 10 people who've probably taken a little bit more time out of their day to put together a really decent build thread right the way through. And it could be really difficult. I know it's going to be really difficult for us to judge. That's why I will never have the final say. I'll leave it to these to do that. They can do it, but you know, again, it's one of those things. Will you pack it in with beer binnet? Half hour? Can you not cross your legs?
It's tea time.
It's getting near there, but she's
time,
earlier than the other one. So.
You know, can I just say something again though? You know, with these like the virtual medals and everything, the guys who are going to do the threads and stuff, don't think of it like a competition. Do it for yourself again. It's for you. And obviously, the better build threads you do, the more benefit is for the members. And that's what we're trying to push, because that's always been the group build philosophy, innit? I mean, that guy would say the word.
Yeah.
It's for other people to look back in a few years' time and go, oh, I fancy building that kit. Put it in the search engine, and the threads come up, and then you know it's a reference, and that's all it's been about. So. Yes. You know, I don't want people to get into this thing where it's getting into, like I say, a competition thing again, because it's definitely not.
No.
100% is it not a competition?
No. If you two are going to prat around, can you do it out there? This is where everything goes flying in a minute with these two kick off in here. So, yeah. Do you want to say hello? Clearly. Say hello. There's the other one. Black on black. Look, we clash. You need a little Flory Models badge on you. So,
I think the general consensus in chat it sounds interesting, and
again we had some naysayers about some of the stuff we picked before, you know, the Latin American one and I think there's one for this year, but then when people thought about the Out of Africa one as well, wasn't it? I think it was like, oh, what we're going to build. But again, even just for the SIGs and stuff, if you get your thinking caps on, you can do some interesting subjects, and there's something probably out of people's comfort zones that they won't normally do.
Yes.
No. I think the inspiration with the Greeblies one is when you watch Adam Savage. She's done some great YouTube videos of building movie props. What's the film with Harrison Ford where he's chasing the synthetic humans around?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner that's where you're seeing the really proper modelling where they're building stuff for that.
For that.
Huh?
Do you know what comes into my head for that? Is probably, I would say, one of the original sort of scratch builders at the time. I suppose at the time, I would have thought there would have been stuff before it in films, but Jerry Anderson.
To be honest, that's where it started, wasn't it? So.
I'm just saying, like commercial-wise and popularity-wise. Obviously, I was not born in the '60s, but I presume that's when it really kicked off, as in for that sort of genre of kit bashing, I suppose. And then obviously Industrial Light and Magic with Star Wars and the sci-fi films, it kind of exploded there, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? They obviously took it to a different level, but I presume there was stuff before it, because obviously CGI and everything was non-existent. So, you know, I know
Flash Gordon and
Harryhausen with his plasticine stuff with Argonauts and whatever. You know, they're all sort of model kits and stuff, weren't there? But I think from being a kid, I remember obviously Thunderbirds and Stingray, and you know, they were always rerun in the 70s and 80s, weren't they? So, and you know what, cracking ships and cars and machinery they had, it was just brilliant. So,
I mean, if you're not into flights of fancy and making things up, if you think about dioramas, they bring a lot of kits together. There's lots of scratch building there.
Well, mini art. There you go. We've got the mini art backflops. So they
if you were to build like a scene of a French village, with a German tank in it. That's the sort of modelling we're looking people to sort of create stuff from new. The rules of the Grieve Bull Sig are actually really massively broad.
Here's an example, look.
That's massively scratch built, isn't it? And it's using that artistic modelling to create. Nobody else is ever going to have one of those because it's scratch built.
No.
So you really scratch building can.
And again, you got this big thing, haven't we? Is that we often get asked questions about, you know, accuracy, the rivet counters out there, what colours are correct. It won't matter on this one. You can literally do whatever you like, and that's going to be the beautiful thing about this. There's no going to be any right or wrongs because it doesn't matter, you know. Yeah. So at the end of the day, you can literally let yourself go to town on it, you know.
I mean, I'm thinking of. I've got two kits in mind for me. Is get a Gundam kit, get an F4 Phantom kit, and whack them together into some sort of robot transformer. Or I'm even thinking of getting stuff like this and turning it into a spaceship. By whacking a load
Can
of.
We all save our fairy liquid bottles for Nath.
I've got boxes. I've got boxes and boxes full of bits of kit that I'm never going to use.
No.
Like this sort of stuff, and turning and building a spaceship or something. So, if you're a hard dyed-in-the-wool realist modeler, try a diorama.
Peter Lenty says, should have saved my Yak Sherman and 88 Panzer IV kit bash for next year.
Again, that's the thing. Think about those, you know, those ones you've got on the Shelf of Doom and that. You might be able to do something with them, and that's the whole point. But hopefully it will just be a nice, interesting, end-to-the-year job as well. Things like that. It should be a lot of fun. That's the whole point to them.
It could be dead big, or it could be dead small. It could be a tiny little thing.
So can I just say, what I would do, rip this Wessex to bits and merge it with this MRAP thing up here. Make them into a mess.
Yeah,
whilst taking the MiG over your other side. That'll do. Bash that lot together.
So what's matter? With a diorama, is it breathable enough that you have a I mean, you can build a tank of a tiger tank and then build a film set around it. But it's not so much like what the end result is. That group build is about the process of creative modelling, and there's no arguing that a diorama is that.
Yeah, because you're putting different elements and different stuff together to make a
little film set, really, aren't they? When you think about
basically,
it,
you're making a 3D picture as well, aren't you? Really, you know, yeah.
Or it is designing a new ship for the Star Wars universe. You can or you can take a kit. If you're not a modeler that likes that sort of thing, do a nice.
John says there'll be a KA50 to KA52 conversion.
Yeah, that's the real world, isn't it? I mean, if you look at Meteors, Mosquitoes, Spitfires, there's loads of conversion opportunities. If there's no PR Spitfire kits out there, make one.
Nathan's excited about this one, aren't you, Nate?
I like this one.
I am. I've got two things lined up. I might try and do two for it.
Ooh, ambitious.
I'm just looking at. I've got drawers full of bits of kits. I think I'm going to make a spaceship.
I must admit, I saw one the other day on social media, and it was an A10 married up to a Hind 24.
Wow.
And the thing is, social media ripped it somewhat to bits because it was a real life aviation forum it was on. And but I thought that's brilliant. I like it because it was basically a Hind 24's front end. They'd been grafted the wings on, and the back end was the A10 with the engines above it. And I thought that's cool. I wish I'd had that idea.
I think this is the thing with that group build, that you won't have an idea now, but in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, something might just suddenly
jump in. Yeah.
And it might be just a Mad Max thing at the end of the day, but it's just about being.
It's about having fun in it.
It is. The whole point is it will be having fun. That's what it'll be. Because again, there's no right or wrong. Yeah, if you're not doing a real life thing, you can go for your life. That's the whole point. Let your imagination run wild, you know, and go for it. Stick a Tiger tank turret onto the back of aircraft. On legs.
If you so wish, you can go for a real life thing. It's
that's it. If that's not your beef, really, doing anything like that, you know, you just do real world. You know.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
get your mini art
Like-
platform.
Like John with his KA-50, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's a real aircraft, isn't it? And helicopter, and
Yes.
yeah, it's still part of the conversion of a real kit into something different.
Just good for life, don't you, really? And obviously to your own comfortable skill set as well, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the famous ones was Jamie's.
Who's
Bronco,
just joined the chat? It's like, what the hell's everybody
That's it.
talking
Oh, I got to say,
about?
yeah, bloody hellfire. Yeah, Jamie's Bronco. That was the famous one, isn't it? So
Yeah, Jamie, we've got a group build that's called Greeble, and it's just make whatever the hell you like. You scratch building and kit bashing. That's the idea behind the group build.
You need to-
That US Navy Buccaneer is just a perfect example of of just a paintwork sort of conversion, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
I think
Interstellar
that looks so
F1.
right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Should we have a look at some people's work then?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Let's have a look, see what people have been sending us. So remember, you can send us over your pictures if you want. Just do hashtag official Flory models. There you go, it's there. And then you'll get over to here to our little tag page. So we've got a nice F4 here. This is 48 scale Tamiya kit.
Oh, the new one.
All lit sundowners. Very nice.
Cool. It's got stencils on it.
Lots of stencils. Don't know if he's got every one, but he's got lots on there. Very nice job. Good job on there. We've also got, oh look, we were talking about these the other day. Jet Provis.
See, I'm thinking of maybe doing what Nathan said was doing, is Villing
Zwilling Jet
problems. Seems I've got quite a few of the things.
You've got 5.
You know something? Do you know the Jet Provis would be ideal to convert into a spaceship?
Yes.
Like a little fighter,
Yeah.
little interceptor. I'm just looking now at that and thinking, ooh,
I'm just thinking that what that needs is a good wing sweep with a V-tail.
or whack some wheels on it and make it sort of one of them hot rod sort of theme, you know, like they do with the 109s and stuff like that. You could do that with a Jet Provis.
Two sets of wings to make into an X-wing.
Yeah, you could turn that into an X-wing. Yeah, you could actually. There you go. If you turned it round the other way, grafted the cockpit up here, yeah, you could turn that into an X-wing. That could be the back end. Put a new front on it, it'd be fine. See, look, the possibilities are endless on that one. Good job on that one, Roscoe. Very nice indeed. Oh, look at that. That's nice. What do we got here? 48 scale Academy P47.
Academy one. Oh.
It is. Is there more pictures?
Yeah.
There is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Normally the Tamiya one. That's good.
It is.
Nice.
That's proper nice, that is. Like it.
Yeah.
Very nice indeed. What else we got? We've got, a lightning. Can't go wrong with the lightning. Kit Builder 54. This is the Airfix F2A. Very nice indeed. I know it. I've got it in front of me as well. So very nice job on that one as well. So good job. Well done, everyone. I think that's about it. Let me just try and refresh it, just in case there's any more come through. Hold on. Refresh. No, that's it.
No,
There's a couple in the forum as well.
Right, okay. I'll just try and find that. Hold on. I just need to switch out because we're on both sides here. Oh, sorry. Wrong one. It's Matt's torso. Where are we? I need to go in here because I was in the thing. Hold on. We go into live video builds. Flory Fest. Okay, so right, okay, so here we go. Where are we? Want that one? Mark, very nice. Look, the original light and dark, or would be the first two colours that came out. Bless them. So there we go. That is the, which one's that? 35th scale. Tackham.
Tackham. It's
Oh yeah.
yeah.
T30 34.
Yeah, that's the one.
Very nice shroud with a mantle there.
Yeah.
Very nice. Cool job with the washes over it.
Yeah.
Make it all pop, didn't it?
Yeah, it does. Nice job.
Cool. Very nice job indeed. And there we go. Nigel is up back on. So yes, this is the border models 35th scale.
What do you think that big sign in front of it gives it away?
No, it wasn't that. I thought we'd seen this one before. That was all. That's what I was double checking.
Right. You confused me then. I'm like, well,
It's come out nice, hasn't it?
It is.
aren't you tempted, Nate?
I am actually. I think it looks.
It's a
The
proper
scale's
scale.
weird, but-
It's a proper scale, that is.
Scale's weird, but it's a really nice kit.
Yeah,
And
scale's good.
if you want, do you know what? If you build like a 35th scale diorama around it, and there you go. Google group build sorted. No, but the kit's lovely. And yeah, why not?
Oh, look,
Doesn't matter what
private.
scale it is, does it?
Privateer.
No,
That
Matchbox
Matchbox
private.
Privateer. Very nice.
We've got- Oh,
What's that?
what is that?
Weasel.
Weasel. Tow missile job.
Weasel. All right. Is that the 1/16th scale one? Was that?
I don't. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Oh.
Ooh, nice. Ashes. Oh look, Deckle Heaven.
Oh, I got
72nd.
Or stencils.
Definitely.
Very
Looks
nice
paint.
indeed. There we go. Up to date down in there as well. Cool job. Don't forget, obviously, the reason we're here, get you guys spend your money. So
Yeah.
we've
Part
got
with your pennies.
part of your pennies. Show us some love. So we've got the big sale going on at the moment. So we've basically got the big sander packs down to £35. We've got the starter set down to £9. All other sanders are just £5. Full wash sets, really good deal on that one. Normally 41 quid odd, down to 31. And then obviously all bottles of individual washes are £8.40, 25% off. So our special little sale down there. Pigments, which are selling out incredibly fast. In fact, really fast. So we've only actually got 5 sets left as well for the pigments as well. So if you want to grab yourself some of those, obviously they're discounted by a tenner as well on there. So if you want to grab some bits and pieces. PM has obviously got the special section. So these are pre-discounted prices or post-discount prices. So there's no discount on top of these, but we've got all of these in as well. So if you want to grab yourself a bargain, they're obviously heavily discounted. Sorry?
Just go up, just go back up, just go back up. No, down again, sorry mate, keep down one there. Just click on the Revell F18 in 30 seconds and talk us through that. Because, as we know, the first version got battered.
Hammered. Right, okay, so, yeah, to be honest, I might have one of these coming to me as well. Purely because the problem with the first one was, behind the cockpit, it was way too flat. They were calling it the pool table in certain circles, because it just wasn't very accurate at all. But it's been pointed out now, it doesn't look like it's that bad. Because this cockpit now extends back being the 2-seater, it gets rid of that problem with it. And when you think of the price of the kit, it's an absolute bargain. Because obviously the Trump fee one is your only other option, which isn't as up to date as this kit. This has obviously got all the newer bits and pieces onto it. So now it makes this kit totally viable again. So anyway, I have got one winging its way to me next week. So I will do a review on it and all the rest of it. Obviously, I've still got the Trumpeter one here. But I've got the Growler. So this would be nice with the F. But apparently, it's actually not a bad kit. The single seat one does have a problem behind. But say this one sort of, it's not as flat because this cockpit goes behind it. So, yes. So apparently, it makes it into a good kit. And really, for the money, you get a lot of plastic in there. So I can see myself doing that at some point. So anyway, that's all the sale items down in there. Then obviously there is just standard 10% off all kits, no matter where it is in the site as well. So just click on anywhere down in here and you can go off. And obviously we're talking about MIG filters and MIG washes and oils I've been using. They're all available down in here if you want to get those and on there. So don't forget the Flory models range is also the same price at PM. So if you want to get yourself some bits and pieces at the same time, you can do it just down in there. Our friends over at Serious Models, they're doing 15% off all Flory models items as well. So if you are in the EU, my God, the dog's just tried to kill me with a squeaky ball. Just made me jump. So yes, so they're doing 15% off all Flory Models products as well. So if you are in the EU, you don't have to worry about taxes and import duties and all the rest of it, because obviously Serious Models are our EU distributor as well. So you can get it from there. And don't forget, Brett is doing it as well, although I assume Brett's is probably, let me just refresh it in case it's changed. It probably gets added at the end at checkout, your discount and all the rest of it. There you go, discount at checkout. So it's all there as well. So that's active now as well. So if you want to get anything and you're in the US for Flory Models products, obviously you can get them from Altitude Hobbies, who are our distributor in North America as well. So it's all great down in there. And again, if you want to get yourself shown, put yourself up, hashtag official Flory Models, and we will show you pictures later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job. But
Oh.
Andy's picking his nose.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Oh no, he's not.
looking at checking the site.
Oh right, is it still there? Hasn't crashed?
Not crashing, I don't think. Have we got any questions?
I don't know. If anyone's got any questions, this is question time. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to pop back. I'm just going to let the dog out for a wee. Right, do you want to go for a wee? Come on. Come on.
You want the tea? They do. You want the tea? So how's your scribing going, Mr. Nathan? Oh, like
I would say 95% successful. I've finished the cockpit, the fuselage rather, and I've sprue glued where it's gone peaked on.
It's
But I
alright.
think it'll look.
it's not a bad ratio when scribing.
It's all right. I've done a few slips. The bit around the wing root is gone all. Yeah. But you know what? It's brought a relic out of the stash. The wings, I'm sort of a quarter of the way through, but they're going to be dead easy because they're flat. I've done enough.
Talking of relics from Italy era, you know the kit I've got an urge to build again is the JU-52.
Yeah, I was looking at them before. I was like, ooh, float one. It's
That's
just
not
a
a
float one.
JU-52, that's a shiny hawk. Phil.
That's
What
shiny
you
hot. It's only because somebody's saying in there, Alan is saying from Malta, with a tutorial on finishing single colours. There's a tutorial on how I got that. You can go off and see. But as we crash your wood quick, put it back there. I have got some other stuff coming from the airbrushing tutorial. All right, dogs are back already.
That was quick.
Yes, it was. Right on the go. But yeah, I will be doing other tutorials over the coming weeks on glossing. One of them will cover glosses and stuff, but we've done bits and pieces on glosses over recent months anyway. But you can go off and see that tutorial is on the main site about how to do a gloss finish.
Real. Yeah.
Can anyone recommend a decent Saturn V Apollo kit? Lego. Andy's got it as well.
What scale?
Not level.
I have. Again, Matt's got it somewhere.
It's upstairs.
It's upstairs, but I built as part of a live series. We did it for the anniversary of the Apollo 11 mission. We did it in the same timeline as the real thing. If you go back for that one, again, it's a horrible kit. It's massively overpriced, but the Dragon one is out of production again, I assume. Can we get hold of the Dragon one? No.
No, I don't think so. That's the one you want in 72nd, but that's huge, isn't it? I reckon. Who did the 4/4 one? Somebody does the one what 4/4. Do Ravel do that?
Can't remember.
No,
Did
it
Airfix
is.
do it?
It's
Airfix
too-
do it.
Yeah, but that's old. I'm sure there's a newer version in a smaller scale, or somebody does it. I don't know. Google it. Have somebody Google it and tell me. But because I mean that Dragon one's huge. It is 5 foot tall or something, isn't it? It's massive.
It is massive, yeah. Because the one I did was 196, wasn't it?
Yeah, really odd scale from
really odd scale.
back in the day. Because there is a new version of the Dragon one coming out, isn't there?
What, for the anniversary?
And yeah. Oh God, I don't know which one it is. I can't remember, but
My Lego one's yellowed.
that's it.
Yeah, because we sat in a window on top of the landing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. You need to polish it.
Mm.
Lego's not very light fast, is it?
No, it's obviously not light fast, is it? Mine's in the shadows in my office upstairs.
Hey, you pay all that money and it's not UV friendly.
Yeah, you'd have thought it would have been really Lego, but there you go.
I would have. To be honest, I would have.
Hmm.
Does Lego count for the Scandinavian?
No.
Good point.
You can build a model of Lego.
Yeah, you could do a model of a Lego brick. That'd be clever. Scratch built.
Hey, 3D print a Lego brick. Hey, that's not a bad shout, that.
Yeah, you don't get done for copyright nowadays, do you?
No?
No,
Unless you put Lego on it.
Yeah, you can't write Lego on it, but you can make a Lego brick without getting done. There's a couple of questions just in here. Would you go with Hitaka or Tamiya lacquers?
Oh, for what?
Yeah, it depends what. Yeah. To be
Yeah,
honest,
well,
I painted all of this is all done in Hitakas. No problem at all. I was going to use Tamiya, but I ended up with going AK. Sorry, but I ended up in the end of the day going in straightforward with Hitakas, and yeah, again, I really do like them. But don't get me wrong, I've been using the LP range for Tamiyas.
Can I just say, is that like, do you own these attackers and LPs, or have you got to buy some? That's the question.
Yes.
Is there that much difference?
Did Phil have to buy or pay for any of his attackers, or
He did, yeah.
did he?
Is
Of course
there,
he did.
do you know, in lacquer paints, I don't think there's a bigger difference.
Technically, I own half of them anyway, so
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, true.
We have to build one company to another,
yes,
vice versa, because that's the law, isn't it,
I'll
Billy?
take it out of my dividend payments. Hold on, I haven't added them either, so don't worry about it. Don't forget it. I'm the only person in the company who don't get paid, which is amazing, really. Anyway, another question is: what U2 or SR71 kits are good?
Correct.
U2 wise, if you want 48, I'd probably go for the new AFB Club one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably stay away from the old Testers stuff, full
Yeah.
stop, because that's a bit crude, because they did the SR71 as well, didn't they?
Mhm.
Obviously, the new tooled 48 for Revell one is out in a couple of weeks. No,
Yeah.
couple of months. Next year, sometime in the future. In 48. 72nd, it's thin on the ground. I know Academy did some, didn't they?
They're all right. The 71s, the SRs, aren't they?
I don't know.
They're
Again,
all right.
it's getting them, though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I was going to say, the trouble is getting it. Don't forget, we've got a new SR71 coming out soon.
Yeah.
If you've got a lot of room, because that's the 48 scale new Revell one, so that should be nice. And to say, AFV, the Dragon Lady isn't an old kit. It's only been out about a year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a newish kit. We've never had one into review. We really
No.
should get one for review, I reckon.
If you get the Revell 48 or SR71, you'll never look back, mainly because you won't have room to
See back.
turn round.
That is going to be a large lump.
It's going to be massive. That's going to be huge.
I wonder if
Saying
that
here,
Revell
Michael's saying
48
here that the Airfix 144 Apollo is better than the Rebel one.
Right, okay, that's...
Because obviously Airfix did it, Revell must have done it. And they say, I built the 196, which I'd avoid like the plague. Because it's
Yeah,
basically scratch building. They give you half a kit and some plastic card until you get on with it.
Hey,
And still have the
it's
privilege to charge you 80 quid for it.
It's good for the Greebly build.
Yes, it is.
Now I know what Greebly means. I can sleep tonight. Did you actually know what that meant, Phil?
Greebly, yeah.
You did? No, okay, fair enough. It's only me that...
Adam Savage on YouTube, where he's building. He does talk about greebles, but someone did this really cool Blade Runner style floating blimp with working TV screens in it. It was a brilliant model, and that's the sort of genesis of the group build. Really, is Adam Savage, to be honest.
David says, what is the best way to paint and weather my Edard 148 scale Allied Airford with PSP covering? What's a PSP covering?
It's that metal
Oh, the sheet bottom.
stuff you put down with holes in
Taxi
it.
and runways, yeah.
Yeah.
Rusty weathering then for that, is it? Is it rusty?
Base coat of grey.
I imagine it did rust, because it wouldn't be aluminium or anything, would it?
No, I wouldn't have thought so.
I don't know. If it is metal, if it is
Still
like
plated,
that,
isn't it?
I'd do it grey and then give it a rusty wash.
Yeah.
It's got that surface rust, not like completely corroded,
No.
but at least nothing else that.
Maybe an area where
Didn't
the
it?
aircraft are taxiing or moving on it,
Yeah.
not so rusty and...
Yeah, I don't think they were aluminium because wasn't that quite a premium during the war
Yeah,
To
to use the taxiway? I think they probably used something else. I don't know, but
And
No,
again,
massively short supply aluminium in the war.
um,
Sent all ours to Russia.
and again, they would get rather filthy, I would have said, as well.
Marston, that, wasn't it? It was Yeah, perforated steel planking.
Yeah.
Have I got any plans to build the Tamiya Phantom? Not at the moment, Gordon, to be honest. There's lots of far nicer kits out there I've got my eye on for doing. And I've done loads of Phantoms over the years, video builds of them all, and to be honest, it is what it is. It's very nice, but by the time I get round to it, they might bring out one of the later ones. So... I've just scored a rare Aki Products. Who's Aki? AKI. 72nd Hawker Sea Fury.
Okay, is that a really old Japanese maker?
It must be, yeah. Hobby Boss have just released a new U2 in 1/72nd. Have they? I didn't know.
Yes.
That might be good then.
Hey, they have. Yes. I forgot that was coming out, or it's due out or out. Yes. Yes. So that'll be a good option because at least that'll be recessed and buildable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the 48th one again it's not a massive plane, but got a huge wingspan, isn't it? That's the problem. It's not the actual aircraft, the fuselage. It's the wingspan. So yeah, I forgot about that.
That Aki Sea Fury is actually a full resin kit.
Yes. All right.
Blimey.
Perforated steel plating. PSP.
Yeah.
There you go. And thank you, Witty57. He's reminded me to tell you about something about Telford, Matt, after the show, which I can't say on here.
10 minutes. You can tell me, and we'll still forget.
Yes. At least we only have 400 odd people who are watching live can remind you of what we said.
I just say I had forgotten about it. And you?
So had I, actually. So it's all right.
Yeah.
And I wasn't here when you were talking about it. So.
Nathan won't be the reminders because he's forgotten.
It's
Even though I did hear you.
Here you go. Oh, hey.
I had the compressor on when you were talking about that.
Anyway, before we scoot out, let me just go full screen and I'll show you my because it's dried now, so you can see a bit more of this. So there we go. We're nicely sort of weathered in now. Hopefully get the effect. I don't want to go totally, beaten to death, but for people who are clever can probably superimpose the old and the new version now. But we've got all the weathering going down in there, and then obviously it's quite tricky to hold this thing. We've got some weathering down the front. We've just put some little watermarks and things, and on the other side, and say underneath, still needs a bit of work. I might finish this off tomorrow. I'll do the underside, just needs a bit of streaking and oiling, but that's just the wash underneath. But today was really talking about how to fade back on the top here and weather in. So again, some of it's looking quite grimy and patchy now, but also the green's been lightened up. So it gives it sort of more a washed out look. So I don't think many of these spent any time in hangers. So
Yeah, but I think that's enough weathering. You don't want to go overboard because otherwise it'll be,
I'll show you on the bigger one there as well. You can get.
Where are you putting it?
Well, I don't know. What I'm going to do is drill a hole in the tail. I'm going to hang it off the wall next to the others, so it can go between my Bear B52 and obviously we got the Vulcan. Then, so we've got all three of the family together.
You do need to actually show them on camera.
Hey?
Because people can't see them. You need to show your wall hangers and how to do it.
Yeah, well, I have sort of done it anyway. It's just the guitar hangers, isn't it? We did do a little thing on one of the live shows for it. But thing is, if I move it all, I've got to move the B17 somewhere else.
No, I don't mean move them. I meant to actually just show it on camera to show the people at home.
What, now?
Yes, you set up so you can,
Right, hold on. So
I know our lot's seen them, but there you go. Look, that's what we're on about.
So we have one behind the mic. We've got the
one road mic.
one road mic. We've got obviously the B17 there. We have the Bear over there. Then over there we got the A10.
So let's just explain. That's the 30-second Trumpy one.
Yeah.
The A10. If you pan back, that's the 70-second Trumpy Bear.
Bear TU95. Yeah.
That's the 48th HK models B17. I was going to say Lancaster then. I've got Lancaster on the mind. And then there's the model Collect B52.
Yes. And then over there we also have an F16 and some other bits. And then you can just see them in the corner. There's the shuttle.
Oh, look. There you go.
So yes, we've got them all there. Also, we've got somebody waiting for their dinner. Because it's getting near 5 o'clock clearly. And they're like, where's my dinner? And yes, there's the others. So,
there you go. There you go.
So I'll try and get this back now.
Yep. No, you're all right then. That's all right, I think.
Is that roughly where we were? I can't remember.
Yeah, that's
Exactly, yeah.
yeah. Pretty good going that. Well done.
That will ruin all my editing now because it'll be slightly out everywhere and I have to go through and post and change it all. So, yes. Okay, any other questions just before we go? What's that? Sounds interesting. Oh, sorry, so you're talking to somebody else. Built one polished aluminium, black aluminium, and one all black. I think we're joining that halfway through the conversation.
Yeah.
You can go heavy on the weathering for the later Vulcan, but not if it's carrying blue steel. Well, there we go. So it's just normal because my one is carrying blue steel.
Yeah.
So there we go. So
In blue steel, like some dodgy 70s detective program or something, or from the 80s.
the 80s, well, like the singing detective.
Hey. Oh no, that was Remington steel, wasn't it, with Pierce Brosnan?
That was it.
Yeah, oh yeah. I don't think we got it over
Was
here.
like sapphire and steel
Oh yeah, God, yeah.
with Joanna Lovely.
Joanna Lovely.
She's just
Oh,
lovely.
very lovely.
She's lovely.
Yeah.
Phil Adrian says, on the Vulcan, what's the copper-coloured bit on the tail near the join
What,
to the
these
back of the
bits?
aircraft?
Well, they're not copper. It's the same colour. I don't know if they work the same as the B-52, but it has these panels because the B-52 has them as well. And they are radar absorbent panels. I don't know if the Vulcan carried them as well, but it's got them on the back here and down there. It's got a couple of spots.
Are they fiberglass panels in real
Maybe,
life?
perhaps they're fiberglass then or something. I don't know.
The Buccaneer has them, doesn't it?
Buccaneer
A
has.
lot of aircraft have them. Is it static discharge or something?
I don't know, just those panels. But the B-52's got them at the back end, and apparently they're radar absorbent areas or something to try and lower the cross section on a B-52, which that probably doesn't work. But
Right, here's a question that's come up. Adam's asking, he's looking to do a Fleet Air Arm Corsair. He's got two options: buy the Hobby Boss kit, or save himself £10 to £15 buying the Tamiya Corsair and filing the wingtips down. That's what I did.
a Tamiya
Chop
one is a
wingtips
lovely,
off.
lovely kit. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Yes.
All you need to do is just chop the wingtips off because the hangers were lower, weren't they? That's why
Yeah.
we did it.
Yeah, we just didn't quite
yeah.
hit.
There's a Tamiya kit's ace. You
Yeah.
might have a bit of a hole to fill, and it might be a messy job. That's a conversion. Just saying. It's the minimal conversion.
Yeah, does that count then? Just trimming the ends off.
I'd be looking for something a bit more interesting than that.
Adam
here's a
says,
question-
how's the 3D printer going? We haven't used it since, have we?
Where they-
It's fantastic.
And then Bob's been digging in his deep stash, like I did. He's found an old bottle of Model Masters Metalizer. Can it be thinned with Mr. Colour or Rapid Thinners?
No.
Yeah, that's like put a little bit in a bottle lid and see what happens moment, isn't it?
Can with that. Ain't that supposed to just be used straight out the bottle?
It's real. I don't know. I'd be tempted to decant some of it
Check it.
to a little
Yeah.
paint cup and
Check it and let us know tomorrow.
I've no idea. If we say yes, then it buggers up your airbrush then.
Yeah, we're not getting involved.
Ooh, so I'd test it.
Rick says, Phil, would you consider selling one of your A10 cockpits? I don't think I've got any left.
And Adrian said he's asked someone at Newark what that panel is, and he didn't know.
Oh,
Who
right.
is a Vulcan engineer?
That's well done.
Yeah, I've quite a few aircraft have them, and they're like a browny, coppery, fiberglassy things,
Yeah.
aren't they? So there must be something behind it that won't. Obviously, is it something about? I don't know. I'm guessing. No idea. Static discharges are normally wires, aren't they? So it's not going to be static.
No.
I reckon it must be something about there's some sort of sensor behind it that needs.
Hold on. The brown panels on the Vulcan are fiberglass covers that have ECM and radar warning antennas underneath them.
There you go.
That seems a funny place to have it, though.
Yeah, you need to have it either behind the tail or at the front of the nose.
I was going to
wouldn't
say, because
Does it
I
have
know
one
what he
underneath
means,
as well?
because every other aircraft I know has them, and they're fiberglass colour, like Phantoms and all the other sort of that era of jet, but they're always usually on the bits that stick out, which are going to pick up the signals and that for radar warning.
Does it have one underneath? It's got one on the top.
Yeah, I think it's got like two, but again, it depends, because some of them were fiberglass, some of them were black, so take your pick, isn't it?
Because you think the Vulcan, being a high altitude bomber, would have had him all underneath.
Molly, what are you doing?
To get your attention because it's 5 o'clock.
I think she
No,
is.
there's 1 minute
Sounds
to
like
go.
she's chewing a table. Yeah, apparently there is. Somebody else has said their radar warning detector seems a right. Yeah, not being funny, because the Vulcan at this stage of its life was high altitude. Why would you have the receiver for it on the top when obviously it comes from underneath?
That's probably why.
Detection radars. So
One on the
As,
top and the bottom.
As one of the guys, as Paul said, that they did his low level opso, didn't they?
Because the Tornado had them on the tail, one at the front and one at the back, and they were that sort of browny coloured.
In
back.
fact, that's what
normally,
it
as I say, the later Vulcan, it's got a different tail, isn't it? And I thought out radar warning receivers all at the top here. A bit like the Phantoms, you know, the FGR2s, they've got the square tail at the back. That's because they've got the radar warning receivers in them.
That's gotta
Very
be
much
some-
similar, like, as we found out when we were pointed, when we had the nice little guided tour around that Hawk T2 at Valley, and they said they're hollow. Because originally it was going to have them, but they didn't. So they
Yeah.
couldn't be bothered to redo the tail, so it's hollow, there's nothing in it. It's got all the shape that makes it look like it's got radar warning receivers, but there's actually nothing in them.
There's nothing behind
It
it.
wasn't worth redoing the tail for the cost of doing it, just leave them empty.
Yeah. Learn something every day. I put the PDF that we showed on the group build chat on the forum. So if anybody's got questions on group building SIGs, later on this evening might be a good time to sort them out. We've all had a few beers and we get quite ranty.
Apparently the panels are
I
called
said ranting.
dialectronic panels, apparently they are.
Dialect. I don't know. Never did avionics or stuff like that.
Dielectric panels.
Does that just... I didn't listen in physics when I was at school, so...
It just seems funny if it's a radar warning receiver to have it at the base of a tail. You think it'd be somewhere on the edges and that, so it could see it a little bit better. But who I know, I'm not anybody at all. I wouldn't know these things.
What do you have to look up to ace the quiz?
Yes, that would be a quiz question number 21. What's the funny colour panels on there? So cool, very good. Right, okay then, guys. Well, we will call it there until tonight. Matthew isn't with us. Are you not gonna be with us then? Not even on a laptop?
No, John's going to take my place tonight.
Okay, fine. That's it. You're gonna do the quiz virtually from the chat room, or are you just gonna go and watch The Mandalorian?
I'm going to bed, to be honest.
Anyway, the rest of us will be with you tonight at 7:30 because Nathan's done us a quiz. So grab yourself a drink, some snacks, and we're just going to have some giggles. We're not going to be modelling or pushing products. Well, we still do that clearly, but and all the rest of it. But we will be back with you for quiz night. So it's just totally informal, relaxed, few giggles along the way. See if we can answer some questions. See who can get the lowest score. That'll be me as always. And we'll leave it from there. So that'd be good. And then if you do want to join us tomorrow morning, we'll be back with you at 10 o'clock till midday, where I'm going to be weathering the lightning tomorrow, going through the motions on that. And then obviously we'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon. And we have got Airfix coming on as well, doing a little bit of a talk and answering your questions. So if you've got any questions for them, obviously you can put it to them tomorrow afternoon as we make our way through. Thank you so much for all the orders. I am blown away by how many orders we've got. And I know PM's done loads as well. So it sounds like all the guys have been sold out and stripped out and all the rest of it. So that makes me busy next week doing orders and manufacturing all this stuff as well. So but thank you very much to everybody who's been with us. It's our absolute pleasure as always. Thank you to everybody who's posted up their pictures as well for us to have a look at. Hopefully we can continue this tomorrow, and we are done. Anything from the team?
No, well, they thank you, like you
No,
just said, for all our orders. Just been phenomenal, to be honest.
Been
Brilliant. So
absolutely great.
yeah,
Cool.
absolutely.
It'll carry on tonight and all day tomorrow as well, till 5 o'clock tomorrow night. So
Yeah, don't forget all the sales, all the prices carry on till tomorrow night as well. So if you are sitting on the fence and wondering about it, you've got lots of time left. Cool.
Or you're on catch-up TV.
Yes, or Sean catch up. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Right, okay then, people. We will leave it right there. Thank you very much for joining us. We are out of here. We will see you all again very, very soon. Hold on, which one do we want? That one. Bye.